Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
We're back on the mic, crushing another rhyme. Hold up, mask down, son, this has to be a crime. Doing verbal walk-bys, I slap the fist, play and pretend. Thinking seeing no evil somehow means I win. Fools, it's intellect or light bulbs, they be drooling in the dark. In a double-wide gunno line that's some forgotten trailer park. Their egos barking loudly, acting also very proud. Blathering the unspoken parts, they never say aloud. Targeting advertisers, contacting them with claims. And here's the really stupid part, they linked it to their name. Bragging they caused some losses while dropping proof to cause some views. Not only inviting lawsuits, but the types that morons lose. When life gives most people lemons, they don't squeeze it in their eyes. But you do, you most certainly do. And I get that stupid comes in all shapes and sizes, but this is a nuclear fallout type of stupid. The dumb that ends all dumb, and bragging about targeting a business on a show that threatens that business on a daily. Good daily. Yeah, good luck not getting sued over that one.
What's up, folks? It took it a minute to switch over there. I was like, wait a minute, it's switching over. It was like, that would not be a fun day. That's not a fun time. What's up, folks? How's it going, man? We are getting hammered by storms tonight, by the way. So I think we're good to go, but I guess we'll see. All of you, by the way, I know there are a lot of storms hitting quite a few different areas. So stay safe for sure. Definitely stay safe. I mean, we've been hammered by tornado weather. Tornadoes have been touched down in some of the areas around us, but we are good to go. We've had some, I'm sure we've had some damage outside. I'm sure we've had some destroyed trees and probably had a few patio furniture pieces that have gotten the mean nature touch, but we're okay. Just to ask, a few people have written about it. We are good to go, but you all stay safe for sure. It has been a crazy one, man. I couldn't believe it. Today. We had my kids have been down with me all day long, and down in the area where I record. We have chairs and stuff down here too, a big TV. So if for some reason we lose it or anything, or signal goes down, well, you know why. But I think like I said, I think we're good to go tonight. The storm is sounds like it's passed quite a bit, but we'll find out. So how's everybody doing, by the way, today? This has been kind of a wild one. We had Shar drop a new video. We've gotten new audio, which is really crazy when you listen to it. In fact, Levy County said something in the video that came up today. They said something that I found very troubling, because essentially, we'll hear it, okay? The way I took it, though, the police there said with Jeremy that if they were going to do something, if they were going to go after him or anything, they'd have to be very careful because he had connections and he had a large channel. So the way I took that was, if he didn't have that, he would have a problem in Levy County. And I don't know, I thought, man, that is really messed up. But on top of that, we had things get to the point. Now, Jeremy's already said that he's going to sue, about the property, about the property argument. Not just that. I mean, you've seen the call out over the insanity with the 4x4. The stick in the ground, the other stick they called a memorial with a plastic wreath attached to it. Yeah. Well, there's a police report attached to that, and there's audio and video, and it's fascinating. It's after looking at it, I was like, yeah, there's no way there's not going to be a lawsuit attached. And the people that are involved in this, they're gambling very heavily on the fact that that property line is going to somehow turn out in their favor. Because if it turns out in Jeremy's favor, if things come in and surveys do not go their way, they stand to lose a lot. And some of the stuff they pulled, wow. Wow. Well, we found out too. Now, remember, I want to pull this up here. I want you to understand what this has been. When we look at all of this, what they're talking about here, okay? It's talking about these sticks here. And this tells you it's more than this. It's just drama now. It's absolute drama. They try to involve the police. They say some crazy shit. Talking about, you also had the other night, interestingly, there are clips where 2L, they say that they think that Jeremy Hales was bribing cops in Levy County. And I mean, just wild shit. All these weird conspiracies. And guess what? On top of that weird conspiracy, we hear a bunch of them that are attached to this, told to cops. Just straight up stuff that is markedly untrue. Like, is untrue. And the police are very receptive to things they shouldn't be. The way that they act, it's fascinating to me because this is how counties get sued. Before you think, well, that sounds crazy, Tug, man. Look at lawsuits. Look at discriminatory lawsuits that have happened. Police, they have quite a bit of immunity. It's hard to touch police because of the type of immunity that they have. But it's not unending. And the crazy thing that you end up with a lot of times is you end up with things getting caught on body cam footage that just, it's kind of unreal. Like today, some of the stuff I heard in there, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, first, the two parties that claim responsibility for these sticks here. Again, I mean, I really want you to look at this. I mean, I really want you to drink that in. Because when you look at it, you tell me. I mean, first of all, they were talking about hoping that they could drive the cost up on something so they could get Jeremy charged with something. I mean, they wanted to get him arrested, very much so. You hear it in the audio. The police report doesn't really get across some of the insanity that's involved. And again, I mean, you're talking about this, but it ain't really about this. This is just a weapon. And it should also make people question what happened to $4,000. The memorial. Even the police are like, hey, if you're going to put something like that up, we can't charge intent if he did indeed take this down, which they didn't prove that. But if he did indeed do that, they can't prove that he was doing something maliciously to destroy property. If he thinks that this is his property, then. And they also, I mean, there's a lot discussed in this video, so we're going to look at that today. We're going to look at the police report on that today, and I want you to remember, like I said, when we're looking at all of this, you're talking about these two fucking sticks in the ground. These two things with some plastic flowers and a no trespass sign. They have gambled a lot on the hopes that their property, if they go in and they look at another survey, that it doesn't come over. Because if Jeremy's property, if he is correct, and their property actually goes further over, then they're going to have a real problem. And what they did with the police, oh, he's definitely going to sue them after this shit. This is nuts. Oh, man, this stuff is crazy, too. Otter Creek, like, again, if you live there, I don't mean any kind of ugly toward you. But when I watch this stuff, I think, my God, my God, this is absolute freaking insanity. Give me a second here. Let me check something real fast. Somebody said they sent something. I want to see if it's anything I want to add tonight. So just give me 1 minute here. Okay, yeah, it's what I've got covered in there. It is fascinating too that Shara's video today. So her video today, let me pull up the beginning of it. That they're making threats that they're going to strike her again. Now, I will say this, and I want to make this very clear too. If they do strike her because of fair use, first of all, these people know that everything that she's doing is covered under fair use. In fact, if she uses clips or anything else, it is indeed covered under that. And they may be able to hit her channel, possibly with a false strike. But if they do that, then what has to happen is you're going to have to follow that up all the way through court. And if Shara chooses to, if she decides to go that route, I personally will help her get enough money to sue the shit out of them. I personally, I tell you, I will go on every channel that I can and make sure that she can sue the shit out of you. If you want to threaten her channel and say that you're gonna take it down, no. So if you do that, if you go that option, she can sue you for it because fair use will protect her. And like I said, I personally will help make sure that she has enough money to sue you into oblivion. And she will break your bank account. So just keep that in mind. You decide to hit her for it, you'll have to promise that you're going to involve police. And I don't think you'd want to do that because it will allow a lot of discussion and do a lot of things, including all kinds of money and more. And that would be really fascinating. But let's look at stuff today. Okay, so I wanted to note that because, like I said, they said 100%. They made a threat to take down her channel today. They did. Oh, I got a little bitty Rita. What's up?
What's up? It's a candy soda. Guess what flavor it is?
What is that thing?
It's one of these candy sodas.
Oh, it's a candy soda. What flavor is this? I don't know. Is it grape? Is it the flavor of the color? Is that purple? Wait, no, that's silver, and it's so dark right here. I can't tell what color that is. Is that silver? Yeah, it's silver. I had a light hitting it, and it looked purple to me for a minute. But that's silver. So is it What flavor? Does it have candy inside of it?
Yeah, it has candy inside.
Okay, let's see it. How do you get it out?
Oh, we have to do it like
We have to. Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
it's greens.
I think they're green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every flavor has a different flavor. Mine has different colors.
Okay, that's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
And the red ones, I don't know what color they are. When I went to store with these and
Mm-hmm.
one of them tried it, I can't see the color.
Okay. You look at all the people sending hearts, by the way.
Oh, money.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, somebody said, "Who can you say thank you to Liz?"
Yeah, I need money.
Yeah, she did. She sent you $14. It says for you, for baby umbrella girl.
Just say out of your way.
Yeah, I'm gonna say big umbrella girl. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. How's that sound? Big umbrella girl.
Did you have a candy?
No, I'm not eating. I'm not eating candies. Remember,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't eaten candy in a while, have I?
Yeah.
And I haven't been drinking Cokes really. I had to drink a little bit that one day when I with my medicine thing. But besides that, I haven't been drinking Cokes or anything, have I?
Yeah, but if you need Coke, just tell your mom or Sissy.
Oh, I will tell
Or
whomever.
candy, just tell
Okay.
me.
If I ever need
Not
candy.
Sissy. Not Sissy, because I have the most candy around Sissy.
I know you have a stockpile. All right. Well, let me get my stream mom.
I
Okay.
think there's going to be more money for me, I think.
Good Lord. Go
I
upstairs.
think there's
Yeah.
more money for me.
Yeah. Well, you got some money. You got a little bit saved up. Next time we go shopping, you know. But
It better be a candy store somewhere.
it better be a candy store, huh? Well, next time, maybe before Easter, we can get some Cadbury cream eggs. They haven't had any of those, like at any of the store, like Walmart or anything around here, which is crazy, you know. All right. Close my door for me, okay?
Okay.
It's so crazy though. They haven't had any of that, you know. I've actually never called a person short. I don't like that word. You know, actually, in my house, that's one thing I think I've discussed before. I actually don't use. I have no problem or qualm with using profanity or anything else. But when I was raised, my mother hated the word fart. She hated it, and anything like that. That's just nothing I go with. So I've never actually called anybody that ever. So you get the wrong person with that one. You know, now I do call her the jokeless for sure. You know, I definitely did that. But yeah, if you if you want to take your channel down, you know, it's other channels too, like 2Ls. I don't think 2L's channel, unless they're going out. Okay, if they are participating. And again, calling people PDF files and stuff like that, that'll take you down. But if they have a problem with the case or something, I actually don't believe them or what's his face, Stupid Dave or Bone Crusher, any of them. If they are going out and following fair use or anything, I don't believe in taking channels down. You know, I actually don't strike channels for myself. That is one of the things I actually do not participate in at all. You know. So, you know, there are fair use rules, and they have been applied really in two big cases. There's two big ones that have applied there. So, yeah, I mean, they just don't like the fact that Shara, she had over a year of solid contact with these people behind the scenes, and they thought that she would just be a dupe and follow along with them no matter what. And she decided to dump all the information there. And then it became very interesting, you know. It became very interesting. Shara decided that she would start talking about things, and she would actually put out stuff. And wow, that's when it got interesting. But yeah, I do not believe in taking down her channel for sure. And I would 100% help her fundraise, and I would help her break this other channel for doing it. 100%. I will guarantee you that will happen. So if they decide to do that, they 100% better know that I'm going to, not just for my channel, but I will go on other big channels and I will fundraise and help her fundraise for her litigation And they, on top of that, that depot that they hate for Preston, that depot has never made it into widestream circulation. And that is something that, especially the channels that cover court blunders and more. Oh my God, when one of them sees it, oh, this will be one thing Bruce has gotten right through things, is that this will be the biggest thing you've ever seen from it. And it will be her that sets it off. And it won't go the way that they know. I know you two. I definitely know that. And that, yeah, there's a reason they said that would be embarrassing. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. All right.
It needs to be plugged in.
I'll plug it
it's
up.
dead.
All right. Go.
Just give it back to me.
All right. I will. I'll plug it up later. Okay.
Just give it back to me too.
Okay. I will. Yeah. It's dead. I'll plug it in. Okay. Go upstairs though. I'll charge it up later. Okay. She has an emergency flashlight, so she brought it to me. It was dead. She had it out today because of the storms. Hey, close that door though. Okay. Thank you. All right. So let's check this stuff out together now. Let's see. The first thing I want to look at here is the incident narrative and that is actually what it's called, the incident narrative, which would be part of the police report. We're going to have two things. We're going to have the video that'll go along, and then we'll have the incident narrative. And this will get real interesting. The incident narrative off of this stuff. Give me 1 second here. Now, when all of this was posted too, interestingly, I would say something to Darth Touch as well. When you post things like this, especially when you simping the parties that are involved, like these people, maybe you should redact their address. See, when you look through it, all you got to do is scan over stuff. Look through it, check it, and you'll notice like there'll be gaps in it sometimes when I put it up. Now, you can miss them, but it just dumped them right out in the open, and it had their address attached to it right there. Now, again, you don't have to redact anything, but it would be common courtesy to redact their address. I'm going to say, regardless of whether you like or dislike people, maybe you should do that. Maybe you start doing that, because that is pretty much douchebaggery. You took Tina and Brian's address and you slammed it out there. Now, again, I realize that these are indeed police reports that are available to whomever through FOIA requests. But, again, the courteous thing to do is to redact addresses. So, I noticed that he'd thrown them out there, and I thought, man, for somebody that's, these people, they cry foul and they cry crazy fans and shit. The only crazy people I see, by the way, are people attached to those folks over there. But just remember, they shoved your address out in public. So just making sure that that's 100% there. And I did redact it off of this document because it was right freaking here. So on February the 24th, now this has been put up a few places. Shar actually put it up. She redacted most names and certain items that were on here as well. But no, I mean, their names. So again, that is part of it. So in February, and we're going to watch the video too with this. So February 24th, 2025, approximately 6:22 hours, I responded to redacted in reference to possible theft allegations. Now, again, this is about these stupid freaking items. And you're going to see, like, there's going to be a lot more when you listen to what's with this. Okay. So upon arrival, I made contact with the complainants, Tina and Brian. Both parties stated that they had noticed 2 large posts removed from their property just prior to notifying law enforcement to respond. They informed me that the last time they witnessed these items was February 23rd, 2025 at approximately 1600 hours. They described, this is their descriptions of the items. And it does make you wonder, where's the memorial, by the way? Damn it. What happened to the memorial? The posts are described as being 12 4x6 wooden post with a memorial wreath attached to it. A memorial wreath. Is that what that's supposed to be? That is not very. Again, I'm going to show you the thing again after I read the description. Okay, as well as a 6 foot 6x6 post with a no trespassing sign attached to it. Pictures attached to this report. The complainants informed me that the materials were worth less than $100. Now, you're going to hear a lot more on that too. Now, less than $100, yeah, that's actually stretching it. What I think here is that a lot of this material is actually leftover materials, from other projects. Again, let's look at that picture just one more time. You can see 2 boards, this little sign here, that little puppy. I mean, maybe $1, maybe. I could probably go to the Wally World and buy one of those for $1. 2 sticks. And they said that's their memorial wreath too. Under $100. I think that's being pretty nice to it. I'm going to say that's under $20. Just me. There's not a lot of material. This right here is what you call drama. That's what it is. You're doing things because it'll create drama. But hey. And then they say, of course, Jeremy, YouTube, he's doing this. It's like, yeah. Okay. This right here tells me it's drama. The no trespassing sign alone tells me they want fucking drama with this stuff. Again, this is where litigation comes from. This is how you birth it. Let's go back to this. So speaking to the complaints more, they stated that they believed Jeremy Hales was they believed he was the culprit for this theft investigation. They believe now. Let's see why. When asking them why, they advised me that there had been an ongoing dispute over who owns the piece of land that the posts were located on. According to them, Jeremy Hales owns the parcel of land that is immediately adjacent to the complainant's property, and both parties have been arguing over the placement of the wooden posts for the last week or so. What? They've been arguing over the wooden posts? Did you hear arguments over the wooden post? Because the first thing that you heard about the damn wooden posts was that they had suddenly disappeared. You heard that in the 2L chat. Before that, there was no discussion over it. And I damn well guarantee you, if there was all this lengthy back and forth, we would have heard about that. We would have definitely heard about it. We'd have heard blow by blow about this bullshit. There's no way. Again, we heard about it in 2L chat from LMNOP. I remember that because it was like, the memorial's been stolen. And it was like, what fucking memorial are you talking about? The $4,000 memorial? Oh, wait, that doesn't exist. And on top of it, they started saying that multiple memorials had gone missing. It's going to be fascinating when you go through this, okay? Because the video is going to be something else. You're like, wow, what? So upon inspection of the hole where the wooden posts were previously located, the complainants stated that the survey rod in the ground marked their property line. When I asked them the last time was that a survey was completed, they advised 25 to 30 years ago. Jeremy. Jeremy. Interestingly, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, they say. Okay. That'll be interesting to discuss, won't it? Survey rod was almost immediately touching the hole where one of the posts was removed, meaning that the 30-year-old survey would have had to been completed to near perfect accuracy to ensure a proper boundary. Now, that would be true even if that was 100% accurate. You think about this. Even law enforcement tells them that surveys, you don't always get that perfect accuracy ensured. Unless you go in, again, you can get that now, but older ones especially. And that's also trusting the fact that survey tags have never been moved or anything like that. That's also a very interesting thing. You're going to trust that a spot in the ground that they themselves say is 25 to 30 years old would be correct. Oh, that's gambling a lot. Like I said, if Jeremy, what he says is correct about property boundaries, I mean, again, they're gambling and they have a lot to lose in this. This is a fight that if Jeremy Hales were, let's look at both sides of this. If Jeremy Hales were wrong and a property boundary, let's just add a little bit to a property boundary. Let's say it went over a little bit more, right? Who's going to lose? Is there anything attached to that he would really lose? No. If they're wrong, though, then they would be really wrong. And they would be at the mercy of somebody that they have decided to not just, it was bad enough when they linked up with ThATuMBRELLAgUY, but they talk about they want him arrested. They try everything they can to get him arrested, and you get to hear it. Oh, it's something else. It is wow. It is something else to listen to. Now, 30 freaking years old. So, again, as police say, the survey rod is almost touched. Again, it would have to be near perfect accuracy. Additionally, this property is surrounded by a fence, and it's built approximately 10 feet inwards of the apparent property line. This could give the illusion that the property is actually smaller than it actually is. So on top of that, again, law enforcement said there's a reason why this would be. See, you have to prove intent with this. If Jeremy Hales was under the impression that this is his property and he removes signs there, he would have the right to do. He would not, let me rephrase that. He would not have the right to remove off of your property, but he's not in the wrong. He's not trying to destroy anything. So even if they were correct in what they're saying, this would be a civil matter. This would not be a criminal matter. This would have to be something that would have to be remedied in a different direction. But they didn't want that. They wanted him in jail. And man, some of the stuff they just said, woo, man. So based upon the above information, no criminal charges are to be pressed at this time. Due to an ongoing dispute over property lines, it is difficult to determine a malicious intent to commit a violation, as opposed to a possible misunderstanding of removing posts from what is believed to be their own property. See, that's the thing. You have to prove the intent there. And the police, they tell them repeatedly, they don't want to hear this, though. Like I said, they try to talk Jeremy into jail. Jeremy will sue them over this. You mark my words that this will be a lawsuit. If you tried to talk me into jail, I would fucking sue you for it. And he has a lot of money to make sure that he can get proper surveys done. And yeah, I mean, again, you can have a fight. Here's the thing. My granddaddy, one of the things that he taught me was to make sure when you pick a battle that you want a battle, you pick them wisely, but to make sure that you really want them. You know, if it's a battle where you stand to lose a lot versus what do you really gain? Ego? I mean, what truly gets gained in this? If you quash this thing, even if you dislike, see, I treat the majority of YouTube like this. Okay, for example, for me, there are YouTubers out there I vehemently disagree with, and I don't like. That'd be the nicest way for me to say that, possibly. But typically, I don't talk about them. I talk about some of these freaking people attached to this because I believe they've put together a conspiracy trying to ruin another person. That is much different. They've talked about it behind the scenes. We've seen that leak. But typically, I'm not going to talk about them at all. Why? Because you choose your battles and you choose them wisely. What's there to gain versus what's there to lose? These people have a lot to lose, though. Again, it could actually cost them portions of their home or anything. I mean, if they're wrong, they're going to be really wrong. So we'll see how that goes. But, and this, what they did here was really dumb, because this did not do anything for them, because they say, you can't prove malicious intent as opposed to possible misunderstanding. And additionally, the time frame in which the last survey that they say, again, going off their word, 25 to 30 years. That's the other thing that's attached to this. Are they being truthful? Was completed, causing the accuracy and validity of the marker into question. And when I explained this information to the complainants, they stated they were less concerned about pursuing charges. They just wanted to the incident documented. Yeah, they say a lot actually on that. Yeah, they say a lot more. Now, on the 2nd of March, made contacting it with Tina by the phone, again by phone. I'd received a message at the sheriff's office indicating that she was still confused about why nothing was being done with this incident. Upon speaking to her again, here, you will see typos, but I have typos. See, typically, I'm gonna make this clear too. I may see a typo and pause on it, but I have plenty of typos, So I do not judge typos. I may laugh about some, like ridiculous was pretty funny. If they're funny, or if you have some a-hole like BBB acts like an a-hole when he finds a typo, and he's like, I'm so much better than this. So when he makes a mess of something, I think it's funny, But typically, who cares? I mean, we all typo stuff. I did upon speaking to here again, she explained to me, it is kind of funny, that she had evidence of Jeremy Hales removing the posts from the ground, which she discovered. She had these recordings several days later. The complainant reiterated that she did not want to pursue charges against Jeremy, but wanted his harassment toward her to stop. Harassment, again. You notice the key wording there, I explained to Tina again that it was explained to me originally that there was an ongoing dispute over exact boundaries of the property line between Jeremy Hale's land and hers. Additionally, she was going off the assumption that her 25 to 30-year-old survey was accurate. Tina's property line is not obviously or clearly marked to where a reasonable person could immediately discern a property boundary either. Now, again, they want to be like, they're saying, I don't really want him arrested. Yes, they do. They're calling the police. They're trying to get him involved. And again, what you hear versus this is one thing I like about the recording of the incident, because that really tells you stuff to it. So I informed Tina that even if it was proven that Jeremy Hales was the individual who removed the post, I still would not feel comfortable pursuing criminal charges against him for this particular matter due to the civil issues surrounding it. Due to the civil issues, again, Tina did not seem satisfied in my response, and she immediately disconnected the phone line. She hung up on him. So she didn't like what I had to say there and hung up on me. Now, I could see why she took the idea that they were going to do something. Again, this police officer says a lot of things that I thought, that's pretty messed up to say to somebody. There are a lot of statements like that through here. And we're going to check those out. But no further incident took place. Like I said, this right here would probably piss me off enough to, to probably sue you. Because they did try to get him arrested. But when I listened to the audio, I thought, yeah, 100%. Now, Jeremy already said he's going to sue. But if he was on the fence about this, if he was like, well, maybe there's a different way to fix this, who knows? Again, you know how things can go. Now, what's funny about this video, by the way, that we're going to look at, Shara actually, this is why there was a threat. So I'm going to show you give me 1 second, her video. By the way, go and check her video out today. It's interesting. It needs more clicks too. So one of the things with Shara, you don't know when her videos are going to come up, so people won't find them. And the name of this, I thought it was funny, the Polymath Boss Man Part 1. And it does start out. I'm going to start with the video incident, but if you would do me a favor, go to the video, check it out. Even if when we watch something, still go give it the clicks. And if you watched it before, give it more clicks. But this is why the threat came up. I'm going to read you the threat too towards her channel that came from 2L, because it said Polymath Boss Man, and it had that image there with Lisa. So give me a second here. Let me read the thread on it. And I'm gonna set this. Okay, give me a second. All right, let me pull up the channel thread. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna just read it to you. Okay, it'll just take me a second to pull it up. It was said they use, again, the where I do not like, but I will note it. It says, look like Smartt might need to prepare for not only copyright infringement, quite a few, but harassment and more. It's about time this self-proclaimed journalist finds out what federal law is all about. Can't wait for her premiere. It probably seals the deal. Yeah, Now, one thing, number one, copyright infringement. You can't just say, I own this word, and then it pop up in court documents and details. You can't just say, I own a word. Like me, I can't say, I own the word that umbrella guy. That's not how copyright infringement works. So if they're talking about that, that's stupid as hell, because they copyrighted Polymath. Okay, so if they think they own the word and when it's mentioned, you got to pay coin, that's stupid as fuck. All right. If they think that her using their voice while putting it in a video, that is transformative, the way that she utilizes. And in fact, there is a very good case on that. I've talked about this before, but the channel Sargon of Akkad actually got into a very big precedent-setting dispute over this. He took a video with just clips, and the only transformative thing he did was to reduce the amount of content that was there, change the title. But the title, the way he changed it, the courts considered that transformative because it made it into something that made a point. It was something like, again, I'm paraphrasing, but this is why they always lose, and it was making a political and social statement. Person sued him over this. He was like, yeah, game on then. And not only did they lose, but they ended up losing court costs, which were quite extensive when they went after that YouTuber. Now, there have been other incidents where fair use has come into play, where you're using something as criticism. The H3 lawsuit is a very big one you can look up. That was a monstrous fair use. Again, those two right there, they are precedent setting. You may be able to falsely strike her channel for copyright. You may be able to say that, hey, that's using it. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to follow it all the way through to court. And for hitting her channel, she can, since she's monetized. Oh, hey, girl. Hey.
I love you.
I love you too.
Claudia, get upstairs or I'm putting 5 million bugs in your room.
All right. Hey, close the door for me too, kiddo. Okay. Thanks. You see her sister. She was like, "Hey," she was like, "Hey, get up here, or I'm gonna put bugs in your room." The little one hates insects. She likes them in a container. You know, she enjoys them that way. Like if you have them put away, she even has her own pet climbing spider. You know, it stays in a little cage, and she loves it. She loves to look at it. She hates them. She hates gnats or a fly or freaking ant, anything that's moving around. If it's loose, that is not her thing. That is not her jam. She hates them. So that was really funny to hear. She's like, I'm getting that. Oh yeah, I was reading. Why isn't touring being about? I don't know. Like again, if there is anything litigation involved, strategy wise, I'm not privy to strategy. If there is a question that I really wanted answered, I ask them this way typically, and I can get answers that way, but I'm not involved with like strategy or anything else. I do not ask lawyer strategy, nor do I ask Jeremy's strategy. You know, I do not. Could I have a connection and ask Jeremy stuff? Sure, but I don't get involved in cases that way. If I have questions about cases, it's like you can kind of see the way. If I need something clarified, I will point blank ask it. But if it's strategy wise, I can't tell you why, because you can guess at it, and it's kind of, there's two reasons I don't do that. Number one, I don't want to get involved at that level, because that's where you get involved in litigation and you become part of litigation sometimes. Number two, it also spoils the fun when you're watching. You know, I like to play along, as it were. You know, you covering, even if you're closely covering, you know, you maintain some distance there. So I can't truly say why. That may have already been answered in another live stream there, but I don't know at this time. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a drink, and we're going to go into this video. Oh, hey, big kid. What you doing?
I am here. I have something to tell you all.
What's that? Me
and Dad watched Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that's right. We watched Pacific Rim today. I fell asleep part of it, though. I was tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of Pacific Rim, by the way?
Not enough kaijus.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked more fighting, but it looked good, didn't it? It was good fight.
Me and Dad been like watching a lot of movies. Like last week we watched House of Wax.
Yeah. What do you want to watch today or tonight? What do you want to watch later?
The Shining.
The Shining. You're like, let me watch The Shining. All right. Well, hey, go keep an eye on Sissy for a little bit if you would, okay? And we'll watch some later. The Shining.
Johnny.
All right. Hey, little one. Hey, y'all go upstairs though. I'm gonna go over a video. All right. Hey, come give me a hug. Let her give me a hug. All right. Come here, give me a hug.
Does Sissy get money?
Ask Sissy to plug up the phone for me. Or not the phone, the flashlight. I can't think.
Does Sissy get money?
No, go. She's got money on the ma. She's like, super shits. I'm like, that's not how it works, girl. She's so funny. She's got candy brain. She's like, if I get more money, I can get more candy. I'm like, that's not how it works, kid. She's so funny. Yeah, we've been watching a lot of movies. You know, I sit down with as my oldest gets older, you know, she has more and more stuff that she wants to do on her own. You know, they get to that age as they get to her teenage years. They move out on their own a little bit. You know, they explore the world, and good, by the way. You know, they should be able to do that. But when they're doing that, you always want to have something that you all do. So we watch movies and stuff. But yeah, we watched Pacific Rim today. It was a lot of fun. I love that movie, by the way. Let's see. All right. So anyway, back on track. We're gonna watch this. Again, also let me chill for a second. There are 3,800 of you today. Thank you for that. Make sure you tell people we're live. Make sure also, again, stay safe today. There are storms everywhere. It's actually a pretty bad one out today, so make sure that you stay safe. That is very important here. But having said that, after you're safe in your bunker at home or wherever, make sure that you tell people we're live. Like, if you enjoy the content, make sure you like, make sure you're subscribed. And if you'd like to go further and you'd like to help out the channel, consider breadsticks. I mean, this is what we do 24/7, 365. Actually, not every day, not every hour, but I mean, we research it all the time, keeping up with crazy all the time. And if you like it, like I said, consider backing it. All right, so let's get into this. So this is the police video for that incident we just talked about. Check this stuff out. Also, let me note this too. There is a horrible noise that will come up as part of this. All right. It'll come up a little bit into that. When it comes up, I will figure out where it stops. I'll go through and reduce it. But when it first comes up, I will not be able to stop it right there. So I'm just preparing you. About halfway through this, there will be a horrible noise that comes in. Shara, she was in the premiere of this. She was apologizing for that coming up. So again, it's in the recording, but I'm just preparing you there. If you hear it, I will stop when it comes up, but it will still hit. So again, apologies. Let's go.
Oh, you know what? Did you call?
What's that?
Did you call?
No.
Okay, because my phone's in the back.
No.
Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, we can show you what it looked like and everything, but we're going to walk you down and show you.
Like I said, we don't have proof.
And these are the ones that are that's their memorial. That's like pissing on their son's grave.
Okay.
So you heard that right off the bat. First, I heard we don't have proof. I would say that's who did it. But then they're trying to really emphasize you need to arrest this guy. Why? Because memorial. This is a memorial. That would be just like her words. She just said that would be like pissing on our son's grave. Are you kidding me? You mean see, if you listen to, they're more worried about the trespass sign in some of this than anything else. But you see the weaponization of that, the absurdity to that statement. That statement is meant to, it's meant to evoke feeling. So you won't go with facts and you won't go with law or evidence. You will go with feeling and you'll arrest somebody. That's exactly why you make a statement like that.
Okay, so that's what.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So,
And she's doing.
Is there anything wrong?
No, everything's great, isn't it?
He's coming to arrest you.
Oh no!
I was gonna go far away.
and I told her, I didn't even really want her to call. I said, but it needs to be reported.
No, I want it reported.
Because I knew John.
You know about him?
Who?
Jeremy. No.
Mhm.
Okay. So we don't have to explain all that.
No, I'm aware. We've had nothing but problems with it.
And we just want it to
He
stop.
put me
I'm
through
tired of
fence on this side. That's why I put that fence up over
So
here.
we've done everything we
Yeah.
possibly could.
He
for
bought
him to
this
leave
lot
us
over here. I was trying to buy it for a while.
Right.
I wanted way too much money for it. And he ended up getting it cheap. And then first thing after he bought it, he pulls up here and starts yelling at me, telling me that. How long ago was that? About
Now you see right here, they mess up with their narrative. They want to illustrate, oh, that mean old Jeremy Hales. But what they do in setting this up the way they talk about it is they make it sound like a property dispute, It 100% sounds like property dispute. It doesn't sound like a criminal matter. It sounds like a civil matter. Continue it.
a year ago. Okay. That I was intruding on his property just like we did over there. And at the time, I hadn't found the property markers. Well, just about a week and a half ago or so, I came out here and found them. And their memorial, this is where Frankie Osteen passed away on his four-wheeler. And that's right here. I don't know if you know anything about that. That must have been a while ago. And his four-wheeler ended up against this tree. Okay. He passed away, and me and my wife held him through. So, passed. But they were putting the memorial on the tree, and he took it down twice. And then,
So they blame him for taking down a memorial on the tree, not once but twice, without any evidence, mind you. They just say, based on, well, believe me, the Jeremy Hales, they had put up a memorial not once but twice on a tree. And then again, he had taken it down. Now, there is no proof whatsoever. You saw what they called the memorial on the tree. In fact, it was some twine and a whole lot of nothing. And that, I mean, what did that turn into? That turned into something that could blow away. I mean, give me one second. My phone keeps beeping. I can hear it. I don't know if you heard that. Ding, ding. Give me a second there. But I mean, they're blaming him again for stuff that there is no proof whatsoever that Jeremy Hales has done any of that. They cannot prove that. I mean, again, we saw pictures of it. It's more likely that this stuff blew away. In fact, at first, Jeremy said that he was happy to leave something up. He would never bother it. But then you get all this drama BS, and the drama BS, you know, that'll change people's mind. That definitely can do that. But I mean, again, you look at what's being said here without a shred of proof. They've decided to go with that. And it's going to get a lot worse there too. But I like that all this gets captured on there. And I don't think they really understood that would be what happened.
so I went ahead and found the marker right there here, and I just had a post here, and then I put a no trespassing sign on a 6x6 over here. And I went ahead and memorial at the time was down there on the ground, so I put it on this post for them and was going to let them do whatever they wanted in this area. But I know who John's looking on this video. My camera's, but that's what I basically had up there was, that's this whole right here, and that's no trespassing over here. Okay. And because he keeps saying that I'm intruding on his property, if anything, I always thought my property ended right there.
Always thought. Camera, you see the game being played here. You see what I always thought the words that they're using, this is not legal vernacular. If anything, I always thought that my property, that doesn't mean anything. You know, for me, I think I own the entire county here where I'm positioned. But you know what? That's not enforceable. I think I'm king of the world. I think I own every hat rack, not just the one I'm located in. That doesn't mean a damn thing. It's kind of more of a cell phone. You know, when you listen to these folks, when you call the police, you know, I realize, okay, there's two different things you call the police for. There's things in the immediate, and you can't control the immediate. You know, in the immediate, things are crazy. You'll say things that are not rehearsed or planned, right? Well, when you call the police for something like this, think about what you're going to say, first of all. And when you're trying to talk somebody else into jail, make sure that you have an ironclad case. Otherwise, don't do it. And don't talk yourself into problems. That's what these people are doing. You know, again, they've blamed him to the police. And, you know, the police. Oh, anyway, let's continue. You'll see.
It comes over here. So on behalf of them, and they're trying to keep him quiet from keep telling me that I'm intruding on his property, I went ahead and found a marker. I was going to have a survey there. It was like $567 to do this one and that one back there.
$567. Isn't that what he said just then? Isn't that what he just said? Let me take that back again, okay? Just to make sure. All right. Isn't that what he said? It's going to cost $567 if I'm hearing this correctly?
Property, I went ahead and found a marker. I was going to have a survey there. It was like $567.
So $567, they say survey. Now, you know what's fascinating about that? Is that number, they have a very specific number. But when it was being grifted for, go and look at how the grift, remember we talked about the grift for the survey? And it started out at it started out at $500. That was actually, interestingly enough, brought up by LMNOP. In fact, that makes me wonder. I just thought of this while I'm sitting here. That makes me wonder if they've been in communication about doing this, But then with the chat was like, I actually think that costs more. I asked Alexa, and it's like $2,300 to $2,400. And it's like, what? Wait a minute. So that didn't get corrected. So when they were grifting, the chat was under the impression that this was going to cost thousands of dollars. Isn't that fascinating? Yet again, we have something else that is grifted for, that you have no clarification over what it costs. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They have an exact total that they mentioned, but have you ever heard that total said? When they were raising money? So how much money was brought in versus excess? See, that's the thing with the excess. If something costs more than when they say, hey, we're raising money for a survey, and they don't set an actual total, but they let people have the impression that it's going to cost thousands of dollars. What happens to the rest of the money? Again, this is why I say scams. Until people prove that there is a total amount, they tell you exactly how much that is supposed to be raised. They also clarify what's going to happen if there's excess money, if it is actually donated, if there's excess money that goes in. What happens to that? They tell you that it's going to be done too. They apparently have not had us, unless this has been updated. We don't know about a survey there. Survey doesn't say, So it's just yet another self-own. It's so crazy.
To do this one and that one back there, and it took me like an hour to come up.
It's already on Facebook. She's got it. They said the markers are wrong. You can see that marker.
What do you mean it's already on Facebook?
Showing.
Posted by who?
This is a group that Jeremy Hale's followers follow. And
You don't realize how bad we're harassed by strangers.
Okay, so you hear this. Now, this is interesting. They're saying that Jeremy Hale's posted about this. That is a bunch of bullshit. What happened was the pictures of all of this stuff, it was taken over to Hale. In fact, that's how we found out about it. The picture that I brought up, it's a screenshot from one of their shows. Somebody posted of the holes in the ground. So for them to be like, oh man, it's all over who exactly not only put that there, but they raised money for it. And then they're like, Jeremy. He's harassing you all, just grifted money, telling the public that you're going to use it to try to fuck Jeremy Hales with it. Excuse my wording there, but I mean, what else is it? And they're whining, saying that he somehow, it's amazing. The whole blame Jeremy thing. It's so bizarre. Like I said, I really try to have not a negative opinion of Otter Creek, but the people, man, like some of this stuff is insane, folks. People that live there, that this looks insane, right? I mean, I know there's some of you, I've talked to some of you nice people, but God, this stuff is insane. I mean, you know that, yeah. Because the outside world, it's like, man, this is nuts. I've had some bad neighbors in my life. A few times I've dealt with them. I've dealt with them through, when I was going to college, for example, I had some neighbors, they would move in and out. That wasn't my property at the time, but they would move in and out of areas, and I'd get some awful folks, but that was that was something that it wasn't like this. Again, the stakes there, they're different. In this, there's a lot more to lose. There's nothing really to gain. Again, what did they gain except a ha Jeremy Hales? Like I said, what do they gain versus what do you lose? Because they're really taking a big chance here. I know Jeremy's definitely, again, he's going to make sure that everything is surveyed, marked out. He's going to have his own stuff done. And man, it's going to be fascinating to see how it comes out. At worst for Jeremy, again, if it did not 100%, they were right there. What did they gain? They gain a ha, we were right, F you. Okay. Versus again, what do they lose? Carport, part of their house. I mean, it's high stakes to goof off with, isn't it? Let's go.
Over 700,000 followers, and he gets his people to do stuff too.
He gets his people to do stuff too. You see that? Now you got 2 L's and all these crazy fuckers that are going to Otter Creek, but they get his followers to do stuff too. I'm glad, like I said, we have this. And listen to the way the cop responds to law. I know.
So I need you to tell him, Jeremy, that it's you were looking at the marker. Okay?
Yeah, it's a toughie. Okay, because any kind of property markers and stuff like that, this is going to be civil. It's not necessarily criminal.
Civil.
Yeah, it is trespassing.
See, they want to get him for trespass and destruction of property. That's what they're trying to push. Trespass. No, they can't prove it's trespass. Destruction of property. Again, this becomes a civil matter here. They're talking about a couple of fucking sticks in the ground. Again, if there's proof that he did it. If he was 100% in the wrong, he's talking about some boards, a plastic less than 20 bucks. Are you kidding me? And you have to showcase intent. Like these morons, they do so many things that they don't understand. They don't understand the law at all. Like all you would have to do is look up something. Man, they need to dial a lawyer that is competent. You know, I do wonder if they have a lawyer that chirps in their ear. But my God, Bruce, if you've been telling some of these people, like 2L especially, if you've been telling them about law, my God, please tell me that's not you telling them stuff, please. Because, I mean, copyright, they don't understand. They don't understand fair use. People like this, they don't understand they don't understand how harassment works. They don't actually understand destruction of property. They don't understand trespass. God, please tell me that's not you. Again, I don't have any proof you are doing, but please, God, tell me that you're not instructing these people behind the scenes or giving them any idea, because holy crap, if you are. You know, too, if there is a lawyer that is talking to these folks and things go really bad for them, who do they turn on? They turn on a lawyer, and they would have grounds to sue. If somebody gives you legal advice, a lawyer does, and it turns out to be bad, that can be a problem for you. It can be a big one. But anyway, let's continue.
But that is the marker. We can show you all 4 of them.
Which, like I'm saying, is possible. Sure. But if Jeremy is under the assumption that it's his property and there's a discrepancy on property lines, then it's proven the intent behind it we're not going to be able to prove intent. Because if he believes it's his property, then he's just removing signage from his property.
Exactly. If he did. And again, this is a gross assumption. Like, one thing I hate about this is it is becoming fact without proof. And, again, it's become fact that how removal happened. And unfortunately, it's just based on other people's work. But if that is the case, if he believes it is property, yeah, he's just removing signage. And he 100% would be in the right to do that. If you think that it's wrong, you have to take him to civil court. And if you're going to sue him over these sticks that, again, you say cost under $100, but I'd love to see some receipt to prove that they cost anywhere near that. But, yeah, that's very small claim court. So, Good luck with that one too. You end up spending a lot more money chasing the two sticks and the plastic. But again, it's more about the sign thing, because they put up the trespass sign. See, this tells you intent. They let a little bit too much go. They talked about trespass. Now I'm gonna come back to this in just a second, but I want to bring this thing back up because I want to hammer a point here. Okay, they said that they wanted to get him with trespass. That's why this is part of it, in my opinion. Because I mean, you think about it. Why did they put up that? That's been the question. Not this. This gives you a talking point. You messing with that is like pissing on a grave. That's what they said. Okay. So that gave them oomph, emotional oomph. That's a talking point. That's a drama point. That's sad in its own way. That is very sad to hear, for somebody using something like that. Ugh. But this right here, this tells me that the intent there was to cause Jeremy issues with the law. They hoped that when they put that sign out there, they hoped that he would remove it so they could say, destruction of property and trespass, arrest him, because they're morons. They're morons and they think that means something. But that answers a lot more questions about this sign right here, doesn't it? Because I kept saying, like, what is up with that sign? What is the intent behind it? And I kept going back to, again, I already know about property dispute, but why would you put that out with the other thing? Well, key point. You're hoping to get him arrested.
In his eyes, there's no malicious intent.
And he takes the no trespassing.
You know what I mean?
He gets away with this stuff.
Yeah.
He goes around and tells everybody that y'all are not going to do anything because he gave you a big donation.
You hear that now? Jeremy, I hope you caught that there. She told the cops that Jeremy is going around. Have you ever heard this said, by the way? But he supposedly is going around telling people that the police won't do anything to him because he gave them a big donation. What a bunch of bullshit. I call bullshit. I would love proof on that. Prove that. Prove that. Because I've heard Jeremy talk about Otter Creek. And the thing that gets brought up over and over again is how he thinks they won't do anything for him. Not to him, but for him. This is just trying to load the deck and cause him more problems. Again, I knew you wouldn't do anything because you're corrupt. You take money from this dude. You hope that will cause him problems. That's nasty there, That's a funny super chat. I'll read everybody, like I said, but I like this. I thought that was funny. Doug, the post cost $50 and it cost $3,950 all to be dug. Yeah, labor's expensive these days. Have you ever had your car worked on? That's hilarious. It's like that hole is owning a Lambo, right? Oh my God. You get a fuse changed in your Lambo there, Well, the fuse costs 50 cents, but with labor and markup, it costs $5,000. There you go. Now, $4,000 solved. I'm glad you worked that out, man. Continue.
This is what he's telling everybody.
I don't know of any donation.
No, he gave in Ohio. He did the dogs up there. He brought a canine.
Okay.
But I don't think he's done anything here.
Wait, so she made an accusation, and then after the cop says something about it, was like, oh, no. Ohio, he gave a canine there. But here, I don't think he did anything. So she has that corrected and then changed. Again, this can be real problems. I mean, she makes some pretty nasty allegations here. The police, I don't think a lot of people really think about what's caught on a body cam when they're saying some of this crazy shit. Let's continue.
Okay.
But I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we had to put all this up for John over here because he's just constantly.
But you can't say that's not our marker.
You hear that too, trying to bring up John. But with John, he's constantly, again, John Cook. If that's who you're talking about, John Cook. Let's get it straight. There's a protective order against John Cook. These people have They are clearly indicating who they're talking to, who they've been, who they've been responding with, and maybe helping violate that third party issue, huh? I mean, when you get the PR channel for certain folks involved, and you have it does look bad, doesn't it? Let's continue.
We can show you the other one. They look exactly the same. I can show you the two in the back.
But I'm saying without a proper survey and everything, like I can't just go off of that pin in the ground. I can't. I'm not a surveyor. You know what I mean? And it's so close to a property line, and the ongoing dispute between y'all about whether or not signage can go here or not, or everything. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be something in my wheelhouse that I feel comfortable pursuing charges with. It's something that's going to be civil in nature. Or you guys need another survey where you can put signage out here to where there's no disagreement anymore. You know, because I'm not saying a reasonable person, but a normal person almost assumes that your property line is where the fence is too, right?
Yes, but you have to understand something. It's like this.
That is a reasonable person would look at a property line and assume that your fence is on your property line. Now that, again, that doesn't mean that's the case. But yes, a reasonable person, when you look at something, they can make that assumption and they can think my property starts right here. And again, you look at where the so-called marker is. You know, it's fascinating to hear you've got a marker out there that you're saying has been there for nearly 3 decades. That's what you're basing all this stuff on. And, and they're like, well, you know, most people are going to think the fence is where it starts. And again, if they want to correct that, that is a civil matter. This makes me appreciate my neighbors over here more. Because, you know, I have neighbors where my property line is, it's odd. You know, it's odd the way it cuts in. And we have trees that are shared across property lines. And these trees, you know, depending on, like we've had trees fall. And like last year, we had a tree fall and it was right across the property line. We both essentially, you know, whose tree was it? Well, when it fell, I ended up getting it cut up. I paid for that. They helped out cleaning up a bunch of stuff. It was good to go. No argument, no muss, no fuss. We never had any problem. Good people. I like them, you know. Things fall or people goof off. You know, if you got a good neighbor, you really appreciate that. It really highlights what these bad neighbors are like. It's so awful.
We had to put that fence up. He took right through over there. He threw such a hissy.
I mean, I'm not
of course you're gonna gain it.
I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. All I'm saying is that even with your property line marked here, a normal person.
You got to remember too. I mean, Jeremy talked about his survey. You know, he's talked about having surveys, and they know that they willfully are not mentioning this stuff either because they don't want that. I mean, like I said, if Jeremy's right about where the property line is, they opened a can of worms. That holy God! I mean, what are they going to do if he owns part of their home? I mean, really? Like for me, and I would say Jeremy strikes me as the kind of person that if my property had forever been halfway through there, you know, it's like a piece of an acre, not even an acre. I mean, we're talking about just a piece of it. It'd be no muss, no fuss, no problem, right? But if you want to start a war and try to get me arrested, you better fucking know that I'm going to do everything in my power to own that piece of your home. I would do everything in my power to claim that if it were mine. If you wanted to try to do this to me, if you wanted to try to get me arrested, and I heard you plotting this with people that I have protective order against and more, oh my God, I would do everything in my power to do that because it would be mine. But more than that, again, you wanted that. And it's not about nicety. It's not, again, you try to weaponize the idea of a memorial when in fact it was all about trying to get me arrested for a trespass sign that you put out. and destruction of garbage.
So would reasonably believe that this is not your property. You know, and I'm not saying him necessarily.
No,
I'm saying
it's
a normal
all of
person.
his people, though. You don't understand. You got nuts coming around.
I just at least want it reported because some.
Yeah, we want to report it.
No, I can report it,
And nuts are coming around. Who's coming around there? Why aren't we seeing video of that, by the way? They video everything and dump it online. You know? I mean, we hear about that, right? They dump every bit of video online. It comes up on the 2LPR show. Yeah. So why aren't we seeing all these nuts that are popping up? You know, and I'll make this clear too. I would say 100%. If there are people that are going to autocreate, you should have a point. You should go if you're invited. You know, if like Jeremy Hales, if you'd set up something, he'd said, you know, he would be more than happy to meet people or whatever if you do it ahead of time. Or if you're going, again, you're going to go check out Tube Town, that's fine. But everything else, nobody encourages that. And I'd love to see proof that it's happening. I would. I'd love to see proof. They have security cams and shit. Prove it. And remember, the proof last time was it'd probably be like 2Ls when they were driving around. They would just see a car pass and they'd be like, is that one of Jeremy? Is that Jeremy or one of Jeremy's people? You know, and it's like, wait a minute. There's just random people driving down the road. It's like people, you know, thinking they pick up the freaking CIA with their teeth or something. It would just give them a crazy.
I can do a document. I can do a document on it. I can do a report. That's not a problem. I just won't be able to pursue any criminal charges for this because it's dabbling so close to the civil realm. You know, it's almost not even necessarily your property to begin with. It's the county right away.
Now this gets into the interesting discussion too. Is that really their property? Or is it the right of way? Because if you're sticking signage out on the right of way and you're concreting it in, that's a real problem too. It's not, again, sticking a sign out on the right of way, which is one thing, but concreting something into the right of way, yeah, that's a problem in and of itself anyway. You know, forget the sign part. There you get into your own issues.
But that's,
you know, because it's like 8 feet off of the roadway is the county, so it's almost nobody's property. You know what I mean?
even though my property marker's there.
But that's what I'm saying. That property marker might go straight that way, but not necessarily forward or what. I mean, I'm not.
No, it goes perfect because
but that's.
I don't know the Florida laws on that particular item. By the way, no, here, even if you were talking about the right of way, if it's out in front of my property, I would be, I'm responsible for it as long as, and there's certain, rules that apply because of ditches and, for maintenance and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not sure how the laws, particularly, like I said, apply to that in Florida. But I can say that it would probably, if you're talking about county there, county could have pulled up something. Because they thought it was a problem too. If that was indeed the case as well. I mean, it could be anything. I don't know.
It goes 90.
That's the other side of it.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not a surveyor.
That's the other side of his. He had that.
He does this.
My other one is down there that we do.
I do not necessarily believe that Jeremy Hales is intentionally trying to commit any kind of crime.
Intentionally, this dude's been messing me for 3 years. I mean, seriously.
I have about
this dude has been messing with me for 3 years. Huh. So they're telling you that their war here, again, this makes it sound more like a personal issue. Again, this doesn't sound like something about memorials anymore, does it? It sounds like, again, getting a one-up. And if that is the case, that is disgusting. If you're using a tragic incident as some way of, again, trying to own this guy, that is absolutely gross.
Intentionally. He stops by here all the time and yells at me, accuses me.
I'm aware of the situation down here in reference to everything. Okay.
I'm aware of the situation in reference to everything. Now, you see the police officer. Now, we are just a few minutes in, and he's going to start making certain statements. Now, there's a couple of statements in here that, again, I found very troubling that are going to come up in this.
All I'm saying is that Jeremy Hales is not intentionally trying to commit criminal acts to get himself into trouble. That's all I'm saying.
He does it. If he can make money off of going there.
So you're right. No, and the monetary gain from his content is one thing, and the constant activity in the area is another thing, and I get it.
And the monetary content is one thing. The constant activity, what? Wait, what? What the fuck are you talking about, cop? Are you implying that there's some kind of wrongdoing here? Number one, I'm allowed to record everything that goes on in my life. And I would say even more so when I hear comments like that. That would actually, that's troubling. Now, if you're saying, well, maybe it's something else, there's going to be a few statements in here that they're really, you'll be like, whoa, wait, what? When you put it all together, this doesn't sound good coming from police officers. It sounds troubling. It sounds very troubling. And I would say, brother, you record every fucking thing you ever do. Any interaction, especially with police, make more contacts because they are disturbed by the fact that you have connections. That was their word, the connections. They're disturbed by the fact that you have so many people watching what's happening and that you have all these connections. If you didn't have that, they would have already done something to you. I 100% took that from what they're going to say in this video.
And it dabbles so close on the line. Like, I'm all about pursuing charges against people that deserve it or people that break the law. All about it. But I'm saying
it's so close on the line. Listen to what he says to that. Okay, I'm just going to back that up a little bit. Listen to this again.
The monetary gain from his content is one thing, and the constant activity in the area is another thing, and I get it. And it dabbles so close on the line, like
it dabbles so close on the line. What? It's so close on the. There is, first of all, there is no line between legal or illegal. It is either legal or it is illegal. There is no gray area that you're talking about there. He's allowed to record. He's allowed to own business. He's allowed to do that. And if interactions are something that people don't like, well, fuck them. Fuck them. If it's capturing entire incidents, they can sue if they'd like to try that. But that probably won't go their way. That's crazy to hear cops say something like that.
I'm all about pursuing charges against people that deserve it or people that break the law. All about it. But I'm saying in this particular situation, it dabbles so close to the civil realm that I don't even know necessarily whether or not it's going to be civil or criminal. And his intent is going to be impossible to prove because you're advising that there's been past incidences of him saying this is his property. You're saying it's your property. The intent to go onto somebody else's property and remove items is not there because he believes it's his. Besides, I don't even think Jeremy is in Hale. I'm pretty sure he's in Ohio still.
No, I've seen him just
What's funny is all of the PR pushers, by the way, we're trying to say that this cop here they thought that they were paid off by Jeremy Hales because they were like, he's trying to cover for him. It's insane. When you listen to this cop says some stuff, like I said, I was like, what now? And even then, because they can't get him arrested, they scream, oh, pay off. It's crazy.
And all it takes. We got him on video call somebody
last night. And he could. But again, it's even if somebody else came up here, then it's not Jeremy that would have committed the infraction. It's somebody else.
Yeah, it was DJ Radis, but I don't know his real name.
Or Willis.
Or Willis.
DJ Radis. It's DJ Radis. I don't know his real name or Willis. Now again, they've just thrown people in here randomly. This is also how you get yourself in trouble. because you're making allegations to the police where you have no proof whatsoever. You have no proof that DJ Radis had any fucking thing to do with anything. That comes up because of 2L drama. That's really where a lot of that comes from. You know, you can tell where you actually kind of get. I find these statements really interesting because you can tell who's plugged into whom. You know where information comes from, but also, well, what's Willis doing? What's old Travis doing exactly? Like, what terrible thing has Travis done to these folks? Travis over here mind his own business almost all the time. He tries to stay away from folks. You know, he has drama brought to him, like he did answer it when John Cook, you know, with that garbage. I firmly believe John Cook, just from the reaction that Travis had, I believe that John Cook tried to instigate something with him. Outside of that, let's there's an incident. Okay, well, what exactly is he doing? Oh, he doesn't hate Jeremy Hales. That's his problem. Like, that's so gross, man. They want Jeremy Hales isolated on this island. That's one reason I refuse to give this fucking case up too, because I will not be told that I cannot cover a case and that I can be driven off of something when I think someone's in the right. Into the outside world, this looks like insanity to me. This place looks like absolute insanity. All these crazy people get together. Anyway.
So basically, if I reset them, move them a little bit, and if I can get them on camera, like I just wanted to report of it.
And I'll make that thing.
Did you hear that? Now that's a fascinating statement. You heard that. Like, listen to what he says here.
If I reset them, move them a little bit, and if I can get them on camera.
See, they're trying to get Jeremy put in jail. If I reset these signs a little bit, if I move them, if I can move this stuff over more, if I can just move it a little bit and I can catch them on camera. And then they change what they're saying. But you see the intent here. Like, they're making it very clear what they're trying to do.
Like, I just wanted to report of it.
And I'll make that thing $500. How much does it cost to make a felony?
See, and okay, there you have two. I'll make the thing cost $500. How much is it felony? Again, this has nothing to do with memorials. It has nothing to do with it at all. They're just hoping that they can get Jeremy Hales put in jail. And they're hoping that they can drive up something. So they are intentionally attempting anything. And they've caught themselves on it. I mean, it's amazing what they admit to when they're doing this stuff. She's saying how much to drive this up. Oh, I can make this thing cost $500. So again, that is not about a memorial. This is what disgusts me about this. This is no way, shape, or form has anything to do with commemorating or, you know, paying tribute, remembering somebody. This is about sticking another middle finger up and hoping Jeremy Hales can get arrested off of it. It's gross, man. That's supposed to be a memorial sign there. They're like, well, let's make it more money. If I make it more money, will it be a felony? If I move it over, can I get him put in jail? Crazy shit, man.
That's not felony.
I will make it $500.
You heard that's not a felony.
Well, you can make $500 because it's not $500.
So what is it then?
Whatever I tell you, you're just gonna say it's that much. So I can do it also.
Yeah, he can build it. $500 last count I had. Yeah, he can build an awesome memorial.
But what I'm saying is that if you were to build a memorial, I'd put it over there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've all been saying too. If you're going to build a memorial, build it on your property. Don't stick a stick with a no trespassing sign right on a place and try to cause drama. You can put it anywhere. Why don't you do that? Because it ain't about remembering a person. I don't know how they make it any clearer than this video. It disgusts me. It absolutely disgusts me.
Well, no, we put that there so we knew where our thing was.
Well,
Yeah.
Wait.
But
We put that there so we knew where our thing was. That they're saying that was about our property line. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I thought it was about a memorial. Now it's just about a property marker, actually. But I thought that was a memorial. That's what we were told over and over again. No, again, it was about trying to get Jeremy Hales put in jail.
what I'm saying, it didn't. Right, but what I'm saying is that it didn't seem to work this time because it's so close that it's not. It's not criminal. It's not civil. It's not. It's close.
And
Criminal,
Grady
civil,
knows
whatever.
He knows that.
I don't.
That's how it is. Because my trip, and nothing's on my family. Jeremy doesn't intentionally. Yeah. So he hasn't intentionally done this to you for free. Yeah. I'm just telling you that it came from this way. I think I got his marker coming this way at 9:48, and then the white car was. He said you Gladys going by here at 12:48.
They're like, here, well, we caught this car going by at a certain time. Then DJ Radis goes by. What? What the fuck, man? So bizarre.
In the morning. So that's what my camera does.
Would you mind sending me the picture you have of the memorial? Yeah. So I can have like a before and after.
Yeah, you got it. You got it?
You want to text it? Yeah, you can text that. It's fine. I'll give you my phone number when you're ready.
Yeah, such an amazing freaking couple of sticks, man. It's gonna blow your mind, officer. Oh man.
What's your number?
Yeah. So you're gonna have that. Obviously, it's gonna be redacted number. There'll be more conversation in this.
Redstone and every day just so I know the stalker is going to
10-4-10-8.
What a waste of time, by the way, too. Police time, jeez, man.
White car's going back and forth. That following come along. Yeah.
And what was your name, sir? All right. Brian? Yeah, B-R-I-A-N. B-R-I-A-N. Last name?
Yeah, don't spell it brain.
Okay.
B-R-A-I-N, that's certainly not it.
What's your date of birth, sir? And a good phone number to reach you by? All right. Sounds good. 761, lady. Can I have a 1099, please? Yeah. 10-4, thank you. When was the last time that you saw the post there?
Yesterday. Was the first time.
Do you know by what time?
No. What time did we come by? We took a picture. After the flea market. Yeah, I was like 4-ish. Yeah.
So much drama over
About 4-ish.
stupid
Okay.
signs.
And then you noticed that they were gone, what, just before calling us?
I just noticed it when I just got home from work.
Okay, so just before
I
calling
didn't
us.
come this way this morning. I go out that way to go to games for
Right.
that intersection. So they're on
Here,
that
here's
road.
another thing, too. I saw this. I thought this was funny. So Darth Touch had pulled all this stuff and also posted something I thought was interesting. So I do want to mention this, too. Darth Touch said that, and he said this repeatedly, that there's been no investigation into him in paint chips because, well, FOIA requests. Yeah, maybe status would be part of that. You know, maybe you wouldn't get any FOIA answers to that while it is active and being pursued. But they seem so confident while they're going in, and they've tried everything. See, it's funny to me that all these crazy whack jobs have gotten together, and they have done everything in their power to cause Germany problems in business, reputation, real life, like property-wise and more like this. They've tried to isolate him as far as other people on the outside are concerned. They tried to isolate him from having any support, friends, anything like that. They've tried to drive wedges into his relationships. And much more. It's wild to watch. It's sad too.
I've been coming out this way to catch on it because I had a feeling that he was going to do something.
Why did you have a feeling?
Because we've had a lot of problems, a lot of issues with.
Well, right. But you're saying this has been here for a while, right?
No, I just put this in about a week.
Just put in, but there have been two other monuments
Last weekend.
You just put this in last weekend.
Yeah.
So they're accusing Jeremy Hales of taking down 2 other monuments as well. They put this in and they, quote unquote, had a feeling that something was going to happen. So again, they're trying to instigate. Just the admissions are amazing when you listen to what they're truly saying.
Yes, and we worked on it because he put the surveillance sign on it. Whatever it is, knows about these cameras. Yes, they do. They know exactly where these cameras are. So we're going to use that one, I think, on this. It stopped with ours out. Then when it disappeared, they started doing it again. So they know about the other cameras. But I think I'm more
Right.
That's what
I got the one on the corner, you can't quite see it.
And what are they getting?
I understand.
Besides just aggravating somebody. Yes. That's all.
He lives.
He lives. You know, they got him on report on as well. He does read the property. That he doesn't sue us to make money. He sues us to break us.
Yeah, he's told
And they
me
got
before
they got him on film saying that crap.
Talking about LMNOP, and he doesn't sue us. It's the same talking points. Isn't that fascinating? It is the exact same garbage that is being spouted in a courtroom. I'll tell you, if you fuck around with my life and you force me to go after you like that, yeah, I wouldn't sue you for money. I would sue you to break you. I would. And if you think that's some terrible thing to say, don't mess with people. Don't push them to that point. I mean, seriously, that's insane to push people and push them and push them. And then when they're like, hey, I'm going to break you. You know, I'm going to take everything. If you're going to continue to do this, if you're going to harass me, if you're going to try to ruin my life, then you cry foul. Are you kidding me? It's astounding. They define what, quote unquote, justice will be. Justice there is to make you go away. And that would be the only way to do it. It's not going to be like a small amount of monetary compensation. It's you got to stress the point to these folks. Fuck off and leave me alone. It's so crazy though. They cry foul over that.
It's not ideal.
I mean, he wants my property. He's pissed that I didn't sell it with the 71 acres. Sorry. I would like to retire and move out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It used to be nice.
It used to be nice. It wasn't nice. Everybody minded their own business. Everybody waved to everybody. Everybody was nice. We help them too.
And so it's just a 4x4 and
What was it, 16, 14? That was a 12.
This was a 12-foot 4x4. I got my picture. And this was just a 6x6.
And we don't.
It was actually a drop piece off of it.
So a 12-footer and a what?
This one was about 6 foot.
4x4 as well?
6x6.
6x6. 12-foot 4x4.
And a 6 foot.
And a 6 foot 6x6. Okay. Approximate value for both?
Everything less than $100.
Right.
Plus 400.
I mean, we really don't care about that.
Right.
Wait.
This is the point of
I know. It's just
We
what I
just
get
do.
about.
I want to bring a point to you as well. Okay, so they told you there's a 12-footer, 12 feet high, and 6 foot, right? Okay, well, look at these two, and you tell me. It's just annoying me with this, okay, a little bit. Like I said, I just want to ask you a question here. We'll come back to this, all right? So if you look at the two sticks here, is that a 6-footer to you? If this is a 12-footer, you see it all the way up there. Is that a 6-footer? Just does that look like a 6-footer to you? I mean, that's not. That doesn't seem right to me. Does that seem right to you? Am I? I mean, even if it's buried in the ground part of the way or anything else, if we're going with that, how freaking deep would it have to be for this to be? I mean, Lord. All right, kid. There seems to be some height discrepancy there. Yeah, like somebody said, not less than 3 feet in the ground. I was like, wait a minute, what? That doesn't make sense to me. All right, let's continue here.
But make sure you put that. We care about that. It's been creeping.
Yeah.
That's what we care about.
Creeping? Being on your property is creeping now, by the way. Oh, man, I don't want you putting shit on my property right in front of it. I don't want you having anything. Oh, that's creeping on me. No, on my property, I do whatever the fuck I want. On my fence line. It's crazy. Like I said, I have good neighbors. I'll go out and I'll walk my property. I go out here and I walk around. And when I'm walking on the edge of my property, my neighbors don't consider that creeping. It's weird. It's strange how, again, there's certain words they're supposed to glean, well, certain inference from it.
I would love for you to be able to pull up on him and find it in his yard. Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
I didn't even really want her to call.
I know.
I just think it needs to be recorded.
No, you guys are fine, and I know it's a really frustrating situation. Trust me, because I've responded a couple times over here, and I know the situation down here. In fact, I'm pretty sure Jeremy's not going to like my last report that I wrote about the incident down here.
No, he didn't. We already talked about you. You're a Barney Fife.
Well, I'm curious which one he's talking about.
Listen to this.
All of y'all that go down there, whoever goes down there, you're Barney Fife. I don't know what you're doing. This is the most backwards. What does he call this? Not Otter Creek. It's Otter. Otter. Yeah, Otter.
Yeah.
And he hates Beecham. He hates Anderson.
And I get it, but I know it's frustrating for everybody, and our hands are tied because we're sorry, people talking to me.
It just makes us feel like I don't care about us peons.
But our hands are tied by statutory parameters as well. You know what I mean? You guys have to act within the scope of the law, so do we. And I can't just violate people's rights, and I have to go about it the right way too. And if somebody didn't break the law, they didn't break the law. And especially with Jeremy's connections and his social media and everything, if he's going to violate something, I want to make sure that it's
right on the money. That's what Beecham told me.
Did you hear that? And I want you tell me what the fuck that meant, because that's crazy to hear. With his connections in his social media, if we get him, I want to make sure we really get him. We don't want to fuck him over some small thing. Are you telling me that if he didn't have that, he would be doomed? What kind of statement is that? When I first heard that, I was like, wait, what? Like, listen to that again. That is crazy. I'm not going to play that whole area, but just listen to what he says with connections. That's crazy to hear law enforcement say.
Yeah, so do we. And I can't just violate people's rights, and I have to go about it the right way too. And if somebody didn't break the law, they didn't break the law. And especially with Jeremy's connections and his social media and everything, if he's going to violate something, I want to make sure that it's you know,
Right on the money. That's
that
what
it's
Ethan told me.
that it's not a petty violation. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that this is petty. I'm just saying that it's so close to borderline. It would be
if they could make this into something, they would fuck him and put him in jail. That's what that says to me. Record everything, man. Put cameras everywhere because these people have to get you, sir. They are. This cop has just said that. That's how I mean, I don't know how else to interpret that. If we're going to get him, we're going to get him for something that will stick. It will be ironclad because he has connections and he has way too many people watching. I mean, that's crazy to freaking hear there. That is absolutely crazy to go through it and look. I mean, wow. That officer, again, I hope the world pays attention to that because it's not just illuminating. It doesn't just tell you about the place, but it's downright frightening. Because again, it says that this small town, in small towns like this too, you're talking about less than 100 people. That's when you really get into the old boys club. That's when you really get into dangerous situations. And I think, like I said, I think Jeremy, for real, I think this is a dangerous situation. Even with cameras and everything else, I think this is a very dangerous situation. Because he embarrassed this place. He pointed out the corruption and the ineptitude. He's called out this joke of policing. And they know hundreds of thousands of people have seen this stuff. They don't like that at all. They don't. So they look for any reason to bust you down to cause your problems. Like it's amazing to hear them talk about it. And they don't give a fuck. And you'll notice something's going to be interesting in here. There's going to be a portion where the audio just disappears. That's going to be the timing of it is very suspect too.
if a charge is going to come out of anything on anybody, not just Jeremy, but everybody.
Look at that. Now we lose our audio. Now, isn't that weird? That's strange, isn't it? He's talking about these really questionable things.
Yeah, because she's put 3.
It never started until we were good friends.
But what I'm saying is that if you're going to put up a memorial, put it up on your property or something.
But
I was trying to get it as close to it. That's where.
Yeah. What's that?
He allowed me to put the memorial up.
Do it. Until over there.
And then just all of a sudden, he saw me hanging out with the neighbors, and
Well, then he may have changed his mind. Now, granted, I would imagine this was deemed a car accident. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Four-wheeler, but they were on the roadway. They left the roadway, right? So it should have been a car accident. Technically, you might be able to petition for DOT to put one of the permanent signs out there. You know what I mean? And then that's going to be on the county right away, and they can't remove that because the county's putting it there. You know what I mean?
Do that.
So that's what I would do.
Let's do that.
This officer is also telling them how to, so he's told them how to do some jacked up stuff. And then on top of it, he's like, hey, it would really be a way to do this. Maybe you should petition and do this or do that. Now, how about you respond to a call and you tell these jackasses to go do their survey. You take the information down and you stop. I've seen more than once now where police officers that are responding to calls, they've done something like that. They've said things that I thought, what the heck are they doing here? Okay, you hear this right there? I'm going to jump forward and find the end of that sound, okay? So I apologize for that. That is in the recording. Sharo is like, hey, I don't know why that's there. It's just there. So I'm going to see. It's there for a while. So I'm jumping, okay? Trying to find where it starts out. It's right there. It's probably the phone call. So they bleeped out the phone call,
This is my business card and case number. Okay, I'm going to write a report, but like I said, it's not going to be criminal in nature. It's going to be documenting what's all occurred.
It's an informational
But I'm saying
report.
petition the county, see if you can get one of those permanent signs out here. Okay, Because he can't remove that. They put it on the right of way, so there's no. He can't legally remove that. Right? You can have it.
It's also the assumption. Look at how this asshole here assumes 100% that Jeremy Hales did remove it. By the way, he's just again. This becomes stated fact now. There's an allegation without any substantiation whatsoever that Jeremy Hales removed something. That it existed at all, that they didn't do this on their own somehow or whatever. It doesn't matter. He responds to a call and he 100% without anything except allegations, believes the allegation, but there's not enough to make it an issue. This, in my opinion, is, again, this is part of PR warfare. This is part of cultivating a negative image about somebody. This is how you ruin people. Well, because you see what they say about him. They've called him a PDF file. You have other people that have done that. Rather, I'm not saying these particular people, but I'm saying all together, you have people that call him a PDF file. They've stated that to businesses now. Put in, oh man, look what he's doing to a memorial without any evidence to back any of this shit up. He's removed multiple times. Prove it. Prove that he removed those, especially those early ones there. Prove those didn't blow away. I mean, are you kidding me? Some twine and bullshit. You're gonna call that? First of all, and to use somebody's memory this way, like I said, it disgusts me. I've lost family members over just all kinds of horrific stuff. I cannot imagine using the memory of someone that I care about as a bludgeon in some petty fucking dispute with somebody like this. I cannot imagine it. That would be your one-up card. And yeah, you may be able to cultivate some negative public perception, but at what cost? Because the person that you're talking about is remembered that way too. They're no longer remembered for anything that they did. They're remembered as the roadside memorial, Jeremy Hales. Is that really what you want? And apparently the answer is yes. And it's sad. That's freaking sad to me.
That is. And if they'll do it, I don't know if that's something that they only do on the major. Yeah, I don't know. That's not really my wheelhouse. I don't know. But if you're going to put something else up, I would put it definitively on your property. That way, if somebody does come out of there and remove it, there's not a discrepancy of this property, is it not? Because the whole idea is that Jeremy has been arguing with you about whether or not this is his property or your property or whatever. You guys have been talking about this. So you guys have, right, but you guys have never had a debate on the property over here. You know what I mean? He knows that that's yours.
No, he thought that his property, after he bought this lot, he said he owned like almost a half an acre in the yard.
He went to the survey. He's got it recorded. I mean, we have everything recorded.
Have you gotten a recent survey then? I know it's expensive.
We got the damn markers.
But when was that though? That
quite a while ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like a recent one. That's what I'm saying. 25, 30 years ago. That's not recent at all.
Hey, are you there for all
markers, and it measures exactly 210 feet, and we got 210.
And the survey says you can't change it. It's 210 by 210. You can't change it. It's an acre.
You would think, but now I've seen discrepancies of a foot or 2 feet, etc., with this new surveying equipment that they have.
Yeah, you could have major discrepancies. And again, this is civil matter. This law, this officer has nothing. He's just trying to tell them ways to fuck Jeremy over. And again, it all is based on this assumption that Jeremy did something wrong to begin with, or he did this, period, that's called in. Again, this officer is just eating that up. Not, you heard them describe too earlier on. They said before him, Otter Creek was this place where friends would just wave to one another. And it's like, what the? Are you kidding me? That is not true. We've heard from people that live there. They talked about drama and issues that have been there and people. And I know just people, period. There's always some fucking drama cows in every community. And you're like, oh my God, I can't stand these folks. Now in the South, you do wave your neck. Like for me, for example, being from the South, this is something that is ingrained in me. If you've never lived in if you're in the U.S. and never been to the southern U.S., and especially if you've never been here, period, like if you're outside of the U.S., one of the things that you see, especially in smaller communities, people wave when they drive by. In fact, when I'm driving around here, like if I'm not in an interstate or something, I hook my hand on the top of the steering wheel. So when I pass people, I can just stick up 4 fingers. It's clear I'm waving. I'm not flicking you off. I'm saying, hey, what's up? I do it with my right hand. I stick up 4 fingers. I wave to everybody I go by. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Because it's something that happens. It's a Southern thing. It always has been. My I remember it with my grandparents and my parents and all. Now that's a tradition that's dying out. It's starting to become less and less as you're having more people migrate into these areas. But that is something you see. But that doesn't mean nicety either. People from the outside, maybe they don't wave. I don't know. Maybe that's not a thing they do. I have no idea. But that doesn't mean people like each other either, just to make that clear.
You know what I mean? I hear why we think this is intentional.
Well, I'm sure it's intentional. I'm sure it's intentional. What I'm saying is that. Well, hold on. I'm not saying that somebody didn't. I'm not saying that somebody didn't intentionally remove it. Somebody obviously intentionally removed these.
But what I'm saying
he's not intentionally.
Why is it obvious?
Violation to get him.
Actually, why is it obvious that anybody removed them at all? I mean, this officer, again, without any proof whatsoever, anything whatsoever, he is gone to a call where people could have just said, "Hey, remove that." Oh man, I had a wheelbarrow full of $10 bills sitting outside my house, and I think Megan drove by and took it. That's I picked Megan because I don't want to point that at anybody else. Yeah, I'm just goofing off. But prove me wrong. Now if somebody came out and they're like, "Oh my God," well, blah 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 blah. I just made that up out of the blue, but prove me wrong. There's no evidence that you didn't do it. That's not law enforcement. I could dig a hole in the ground and say there were some signs up. Again, and I'm not saying there weren't signs and they were removed, but there is no proof that anything happened whatsoever. He's just taking these people's fucking word on it. And the word is trash because that is not how facts work. That is not evidence of anything whatsoever, civil or criminal. It doesn't prove anything happened whatsoever. It's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
No, listen to me now. He's had 70 acres. 70 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, survey. You can see the sticks. Okay.
Right.
He will not do this because this is his content for his show. Okay. He's not gonna get a survey because he wants to be able to do this to us.
Right.
And I don't care if y'all don't think this is intentional. It is.
It's not about it.
Yeah. The thing, like there are people saying, well, removal of, it doesn't matter if somebody after the fact even said they removed them. What I'm saying is when a police officer pulls up and you just tell him something happened, there's no investigation that has gone on whatsoever. He's just taking their word for it. Like that's the point. That is not proof of anything. I can accuse anybody I want of anything. Like you need to investigate it. You don't need to take it as fact that there was a sign and it was removed. I could dig a hole out here and just accuse somebody of doing whatever the fuck I want. I can investigate. That's the point. Like, you don't just drive up and take people's word for it because people fucking lie. And if you don't think people lie and you don't think people are dishonest, then I have a challenge for you, I suppose. If you think people are really trustworthy and they're honest and great, start sleeping with your doors unlocked and your windows open. And beyond that, too, maybe take 5,000 random people in a chat room and put your bank information in there. And nobody would do that. Why? Because people are dishonest. There are a lot of dishonest people out there. That's why we have, that's why you need investigations on it. It bothers me that there's no investigation. They're just taking the word of people with this, and it becomes fact. And without any proof whatsoever. Now, If these people put something in front of my house or on my property, whatever, I would fucking remove it in a heartbeat. I don't care what it was. I would. After the drama and bullshit that these people have, I would remove it 100%. There is no way on earth that I would leave it up after the garbage. I don't give a damn what they call it. I don't give a damn what they say it's for. Because ultimately it is drama. They did not put up a memorial. They put up a fucking no trespassing sign, and they put up a big stick with a plastic wreath on it. All the while saying that they've raised thousands of dollars to put together an actual memorial. So you tell me that's not drama. And they put it right there where they thought it could be, right on the edge of a property line where it would cause drama. Because if they really wanted to do something with it, they would have moved it over. They would have moved it somewhere where it wouldn't be disputed, where it would be safe. That's what the cop says out of that. And that's what drives me nuts about it. It is using memory as a weapon. It's gross, but it shows you what these people represent. Ugh. Anyway.
Being intentional. I'm saying he's not intentional. That's not what I said. Yeah. And if you guys listen, it's all on recording. If you guys want to twist my words, then there's no point in furthering a conversation.
I think it's,
you know what I mean?
Oh, he's getting frustrated with them. You notice that?
Intentionally removed the polls. Well, there's no discrepancy on that. The discrepancy is that did they intentionally do it with the intent to commit a criminal violation? Or is it that they're doing it because it's a civil issue and they believe that it's on their property? That's what I'm saying.
I understand that.
Okay? So, yes, somebody intentionally removed it. So don't mince my words. Okay? All right. Did you guys need anything else from me?
I appreciate it.
All right.
Like I said,
I'll document it'll be on that case number. If you guys want to request a copy of it, you can. It's going to be a very simple report. You guys advise this within this time frame, valued at this, etc., and kind of go from there. Okay. So, all righty.
but if it happens again, call you.
Yeah, absolutely. If anything else suspicious happens or items go missing, I would even put up a trail camera or something like this facing maybe the corner of your yard on that tree or something.
Let's see, we were thinking about cutting this down and putting it right there.
I have one on the corner.
Something.
See, we have it on the house. Okay, but this is blocking it.
Way over there?
Yeah, there.
But that's why I'm saying if you put even a trail camera right here on this tree facing the corner of your yard, that's not really going to pick up much because every time a car drives by, it's going to pick it up. But it's up to y'all. Yeah. I'd normally recommend trail cameras because they're cheap. They're easy to maintain. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you put them up, you might end up with a bunch of pictures of cars driving back and forth. But if you weed through all that.
Now, what if we would have had it on camera?
Yeah, one of my boys had it.
Well, then we would have who we know would have done it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's say it's not Jeremy Hale that did it, for instance, and it was just some stranger, not even one of Jeremy's lackeys, but just like another stranger. Well, then they don't have the lawful ability to remove it on anybody's property. You know what I mean? So it all depends.
Yeah, he's got on video on one of his YouTube videos
where he comes into the corner of the property and breaks.
One of my kids had a game cam back here in this back corner, and he came on from this lot and ripped it down and threw it in the dirt. Yeah. And at the time, I wasn't sure exactly where the property line was at. And come to find out that it was on my property. I got on my board. I was like, why do you put it?
I know it's a frustrating situation, and I don't envy the situation everybody's in. I wish I could do more, and I'm hoping that we can do more.
Yeah, I understand that completely. There's not a lot you can do. That's all really what you want to do about it right now. But yeah, it just gets aggravating. We never had any problems before
I know.
He left us alone, honestly, for 3 years. Until we did the fence. We helped him with the fence. And then he got on his thing and said he was going to sue us and take my property and he's just going to break us and all this stuff. So we just left it alone. We don't do anything.
Wait. Now we were good buddies until we helped him with a fence? Is that what they're saying? Now he threatened he was going to break. Fascinating how this becomes some insane narrative. I mean, these narratives are something else.
And then we thought we'll mark it so he knows. And this is what happened.
Yeah, I mainly think I wanted to market. One was for them, but then also because he kept
All
saying
this
I
is
was intruding
bizarre.
on this property over here.
So
So
if
I wanted-
you know it's going to be a problem, I would definitely get another survey done, because you know that he's not going to rest until every inch of his property is his. You know what I mean?
Whatever he's saying.
But he might pay for it, sure, but then he's not going to give you a copy of it, so he's just going to claim that all that property's his. You know what I mean? So
Actually, he'll give you a copy in court. is what happens. That's 100% of what will happen. But you notice, like I said, you see the chain of this. Police are the ones that gave them this idea to a way to fuck around, or they take it to 2Ls where they're connected to, again, PRing for freaking these other people. The amount, they already knew an amount too. What really blows my mind with this is they had an amount. $567. That's what he said early on in this, but they allowed it to go up to thousands of dollars with the chat, and God knows how much money was raised. She had another fucking thing, and these people that are there, and maybe some of you are here, you're too fucking stupid to look at that stuff. That is being scammed, folks. Like, you don't have to like a Jeremy Hales. You don't have to like me or anything else. But when you fundraise, not when you donate to something like a channel, you back it that way. But when you donate to fixing a house or something, there should be a total amount that someone is asking for. You should know what that's going for. And on top of it, if there's excess, you should know what that's going for too. There should be no qualm. You also should not have that money coming in through YouTube, because they keep talking about YouTube charges. Well, all you'd have to do is set up anything, give some go, whatever. That's all you'd have to do. But at the end of the day, then there would be an exact number that is accounted for. Can't have that, can we? Can't have that at all. David the donor figured that out. He figured out that, wait a minute, it's just going to be more and more and more. $56,000. It's just going to be more. People are too stupid to fucking figure that out.
So I would definitely get another survey done, and I would have it clearly marked with this from the survey guys, and do something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Can you promise they'll leave us alone?
No. I wish I could. So, I mean, I get it, guys.
Like you said, the place is fine, but it's reason how everything's been for. I always say this
I appreciate it. Yeah, no worries. No worries. I mean, I want to do more. I want to help. I really do.
I want to do more. I want to do more. You heard them just saying before Jeremy Hales, blah, 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 blah. And this guy just tells you, again, an officer. Well, I want to do more. I really do. But there's not enough that I can fuck him with here. And officer, again, their intent is very clear in this. I really hope Jeremy Hales is documenting all of this. I hope that he files a formal complaint, because this stuff needs to be documented and addressed. They're not going to help him. They have made it abundantly clear that Levy County will not help him in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter what happens. Even when you have a court in Ohio that is like, yes, these are violations of protective orders. They've made it perfectly clear that they don't give a shit. But I think they've made it clear on something else here. It's even worse than that. It's not inaction or ineptitude. It seems a little more insidious.
So, but reporting it is never a bad thing. Always report it, because it just gives ammunition for later. If something ever does happen down the road, for instance, you guys need an injunction or something, it's just more documentation to help support your facts. You know what I mean?
Gives you ammunition for later.
Call us for anything suspicious you see. And we'll document it from there.
Calls for everything. Anything suspicious that you might see, because it might be ammunition for later. Are you fucking kidding me, cops, man? Are you kidding me?
Okay. All right, guys.
And we were being smarty pants.
You're okay. You're okay.
Gross, dude.
I'll let you guys figure that out. All right. But no, you guys are fine. I appreciate it. I understand. All right.
Thank you very much.
Of course. You guys have a wonderful day, okay? And you're sure you sent that picture? Because I never got it.
Deanna is up with her family in the Panhandle. She left yesterday, and George and Jeremy are still in Ohio.
So he's driving the truck.
Okay, so Jeremy is still in Ohio?
I seen George's car yesterday, and I seen Jeremy's car, our truck yesterday.
Wait.
And he's driving a vehicle.
So he's wait. So they just told the officer that they weren't actually there. I mean, you just heard that. So the officer should be like, wait a minute, because they're giving, again, it doesn't matter what the truth is of it yet, because he has no idea. He's just accepted as reality what they told him. That he said at first that Jeremy's in Ohio. He couldn't have done this. But they told him, no, he's back. He accepted that as reality. So hey, folks, let's see. Can I get in here? I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm actually I'm broadcasting with my phone. We just had a power outage, so I'm I apologize. Yeah, I don't know if I can. I'm going to see. Give me a minute. I'm going to see if our power's not all the way out. It's just blinked. It blinked a couple of times. You can actually hear the weather out here. I don't know if you can hear this though. Listen to this wind. This is wild. Listen to this. I'm going to open the door real quick. Listen to that. That's insane. So, I mean, we have a heck of a storm brewing. Yeah, can you? You can hear me because I'm on my phone now. We actually have an outage on. We have an outage on the desktop, so I don't know if I'll probably have to end. I won't be able to pull. Let me see. I think I can go through super chats this way though. So I do want to do that. Okay. So let's do that real quick. All right. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I'm going to have to do this a strange way. I can't actually keep up with comments. I want to finish the video. I'm up to, we had about 8 more minutes, but I mean, again, it is what it is, right? So let's try it this way. Travis, thanks for the 2 there. Glad you're on tonight. Best 40th birthday I've had. Well, hey, congratulations for everything you've done, man, by the way. I do want to give you love and respect for that. And happy 40th. Everybody, man, give Travis a hand, by the way. Travis is good people, you know? Travis is good people. So love to him and support. Liz, thanks for the 25 there. But that super sticker, that's awesome, by the way, Liz. I appreciate that immensely. Thank you very much. Appreciate you too. And I apologize also for the way the screen is stuck with my little bitty icon. You know, it's funny. It's stuck over in the corner, but I can't change the layout very well with my setup this way. PDW, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, PDW, by the way. I appreciate it. Angela, thank you for the super chat. I don't know the bird. That is cool. Love the coverage from you and Megan. The hell, there's so much going on. Would love to see 15 to 20 minute recaps every 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, Megan has been doing better about that, by the way. She's actually been adopting recaps, and I think that's a good way to go. I agree. Hey, I might have a connection again. Give me a second. Let me say, hey, let me see about switching over the way that I'm covering this. Just give me a minute. This is a work in progress. Okay, so you're gonna have to give me. Let me see if this works out. I'm gonna drop out of this, and then I'm gonna come into the studio with my desktop and see if that works. So just give me a minute. Okay. Let's see. How do I leave here? Give me 1 minute. Let's see. Do we have sound now? All right. Let's see now. Am I back? Am I back in broadcasting correctly again? You know, this is a weird way to do it. Give me 1 minute. I got to make sure I closed everything out on my phone. We are back, baby. Yeah. Good deal. Let me make sure the video will play from where we were. You know, again, apologies. We may blank out again, too. I don't know. I mean, we have one heck of a storm coming up. But like I said at the beginning, I do want to catch you. I hate missing Super Chat. But if I disappear, you know what happened. Okay. I mean, you do know what happened with that. Like I said, we have some big storms going on. Let me put that down. But India, that's awesome. And again, I think that's a great idea. The recaps, and Megan has been trying to do more with that. Once my health gets straightened out, I'll be able to do more. Like today, just setting sometimes is like today. I've been having like crazy like pains again under like around my heart. So, you know, and that just comes up from doing anything. It's not like it goes away, and setting and thinking about it sucks. So, you know, but I can't, I don't know. It just interrupts that stuff. So maybe when everything gets fixed, we can definitely get all of that going. Cause I would love to be, you know, I used to make videos all the time, just regular videos. But anyway, let's finish this here. And like I said, apologize for the disruption. I mean, it is what it is, but let's kick it in.
She left yesterday, and George and Jeremy are still in Ohio.
Yeah, it's right where we were before.
Okay, so Jeremy is still in Ohio?
I seen George's car yesterday, and I seen Jeremy's car, our truck yesterday. And he's driving a vehicle.
It was 520-7172.
529.
Oh, matter of fact,
352-529-7162.
Because they took a bunch of packages into the post office.
529-7162, yeah.
Come on.
I gotta find them.
And then, can we say...
Sorry, that was me trying to get my video done hang. It was hanging for a second. But okay.
Yeah, he buys, like when cops come out, he buys or gets it. I don't know how he gets it.
It's a public record.
Yeah, public record.
It's
I can
completely,
actually get online and get it right.
Yeah.
it's illegal for anybody to request a copy.
Erase it.
What was that again?
352
That
529.
Did you hear that though? Did you catch that? They were not happy about him getting copies of police records. Check that out. I find that to be fascinating.
I gotta find them.
And then,
Listen to
can we say for him not to be able to buy your film?
See, they didn't want this on. They did not want this to be on public record. Do you hear that? Right there. She doesn't. They don't understand the law at all. These people don't. And they had hoped that Jeremy would not have access to this stuff. They had hoped that they could ultimately, it wouldn't just get exposed to the world, but it wouldn't get exposed to him. He wouldn't be able to buy the film. Again, they don't understand that at all, because they said some pretty incriminating damn things there. And if you were just going by the police report, you wouldn't know all this stuff, would you? You would think by the police report itself, you would actually think that that there was a minor complaint. You wouldn't think that you had over 30 minutes of interaction. That the police officer himself stated some pretty damning things. I think about how Levy County and this officer sees it. You know, he shouldn't have been saying, he said something really, you know, when I paused, I thought about this because I hadn't thought about it. He told these random people out here that Jeremy Hales was not going to like the police report he filed. What the fuck did these people have to do with that incident? Like, you tell me. Why is this officer bragging about Jeremy Hales? He's not going to like the incident that I recorded, what I had to say. Why in the world do you have an officer that's saying something like that? I mean, it's wild, isn't it? Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, he buys, like when cops come out, he buys or gets it. I don't know how he gets it.
It's a public record.
Yeah, public record.
It's
I can
completely,
actually get online and get it right.
yeah, it's illegal for anybody to request a copy. I rate that.
What was that again?
352 529 7162.
Even the incident number. So
352 529 7162. Okay.
He'll make it. You know that.
Yeah, it's a public records request. Anybody can request it. So even somebody totally unrelated can request a copy of this report and everything. It's just biographical information, your name and stuff would be redacted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're involved, it's not normally redacted because it's your information.
Yeah, because what do they call that, doxing?
Yeah.
Put our address and phone number and all that stuff.
yeah, and you know what's funny though? You know what's actually funny about that? ThATuMBRELLAgUy, part of the ecosystem, put their address out there. So just to make that clear, like for me, I redacted it off of that copy. Shara redacted that information. Oh, ThATuMBRELLAgUy dumped it straight out there in the world. So when they talk about doxing, if you have a problem with your address being out there, first of all, it was in a public document, but they dumped it to the world. So don't be whining and complaining that Jeremy Hales had something to fucking do with that, because they did it.
He doesn't care. He'll come out. Yeah, he'll put yours, and then you'll start getting harassed. That's terrible.
God, it's like every day for me.
That's terrible.
We used to.
What is wrong with this world?
That's like every day for me.
Oh, you got it.
All right, I think I got it this time. 2 images. Brilliant. Yep, I got them. We're good on that. All righty. I'll go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So ridiculous, man. And then this is very interesting. Actually, let's save this, okay? Well, I'm going to pick this up later on. Like, this at the end is interesting, but I don't want to add this yet. I want to talk about this on its own, you know, because this is a subject. If I go down this rabbit hole, we'll be here for a while. All right, but this is fascinating too. If you haven't watched the Shara videos, again, support her channel. Make sure that you do. You know, give it view time. make sure that, again, you play it. You can play it more than once. But yeah, I'm going to bring up the discussion with Bruce Manskin. And again, it's all in the video. It's at the end if you want to just go watch it on your own there. But there are things from the last video that I need to pick up and show you. And this stuff. Unless something comes up, I will probably do it tomorrow. Monday, I'm not sure how Monday will go. I plan to live stream every day. But Monday, I get the test results with everything that's been going on. So hopefully I'll get an answer to what's up with the heart pains and stuff. Because I'm getting really tired of having that. Hopefully we'll have some answer. And yeah, we'll see. We'll go from there. Because that has not been fun. I would love to be at 100% and be doing everything for sure. Somebody wrote me too. Daniel wrote, do me a favor. You wrote and said that you might be possibly blocked. Are you under? If you think that you have been blocked, by the way, if you think you've been blocked and it's an accident or something, just write me about it. Typically, most people that get blocked, they've done egregious things, or it's an accident. You would know if you were blocked intentionally. You would absolutely know. So if you think you've been blocked unintentionally, write me and make sure that you put the name that you use in chat. I can check through. And actually, even better, if you can link the YouTube account, like you'll have a YouTube account that you're commenting from. If you put a link to it, I can look right off that link and it'll tell me if you've been blocked or not. Otherwise, I have to try to search your name. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't mind doing it, but the easiest way to do that, and again, a lot of time it can happen accidentally. You may also YouTube may be holding your comments for God knows what. They do that as well. But I don't mind looking into any of it ever. I would definitely do that. Let's see. So let me give some love to LT. Thank you for the PayPal. Sent $10 there. That's awesome. Love listening to your soothing voice. Thank you. I appreciate that. After years of doing therapy, I got a certain cadence down. I think it worked very well for me. It works well for talking to people that I'm just talking to in the regular life, but it also worked with extremely mentally ill people. People that may be outraged by the color of your words. They think your words have color or just whatever. Schizophrenic individuals. It's a very sad reality, but yeah, you develop ways to try to deal with that. And I'm glad that comes across as soothing. Appreciate it. BW, by the way, sent $40. That is awesome too. Sent that through Cash App. Thank you, BW. That is very nice of you as well. I appreciate that. Let me pull the chat back up here. We'll go through, and like I said, I'll hit probably tomorrow. I plan on it, unless something comes up. Megan will be on next week she'll be doing videos. So make sure that you tune in her videos, even if it's on just whatever. Give it a click if you would, and check them out. But Emma, thanks for the 5. Do you still have the trampoline for tornado bait? Stay safe, please. No, it wrapped it around a tree. That one picture, remember, where it wrapped it all the way around a tree? It's useless now. I ended up having it was so wrapped around it, I had to have somebody come out and help me cut it off of the tree. I mean, it bent it around the tree and wrapped it around it. So the kids, I'd love to get them a new trampoline because they loved that thing. But I mean, it ripped it. It was even, tacked to the ground and everything. It just ripped it out of the ground and wrapped it around a tree that one time. That was insane. But thanks for asking. And yeah, I mean, you can hear the wind down here and stuff. But I mean, I'm probably in the safest part of the house. And right now we don't have a tornado warning right on us. I've checked it out. So I mean, we're good for right this moment. But we do have a heck of a storm right now. Debbie, thanks for the 10 there. Love you, Tug. This is for the girls. So thank you. They definitely will appreciate that, by the way. Thank you for that. Linda, thanks for the 40 there. Thank you there. How are the little ones handling the storm? Hope all is well. They don't mind. The oldest, you know what they mind? They mind when the power gets hit. That's when they notice it, because otherwise they don't even notice issues with the storm. You know, like the oldest, she'll find some device comfort. She'll find something, and the little one, I'll turn something on like her TV, and it'll drown out some of the sound outside of it. Now, if we have a warning come up, I bring them all down here, and they enjoy that. They get to watch TV. We have a big TV down here, so we'll probably do that after this too. I told my oldest that she's been asking to watch The Shining. I was like, "Are you sure you want to watch it?" They're like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "All right, if you want to, I don't care." So they do okay with it. It doesn't. They do a lot better. Like when I grew up, I used to be leery of my grandma. Used to be terrified of storms, and one time when I was little, she kept telling me that a tornado was going to hit and it was going to drop a tree on the house. And I was terrified of this idea. I was like, oh, but at the same time, I was like, Granny's overreacting. I was little, you're in that part where you think but you're not really sure. Well, sure enough, a tornado did touch down. It hit a tree and it dropped a tree about 5 inches away from their home. I mean, it almost landed on their house. So after that, as a kid, for me, I was like, oh my God, snores. But, my kids do pretty good with it. But thank you for asking. Appreciate you. Joe, thanks for the 20 there. Breadstick money. Thank you. Breadsticks are delicious. Thanks. Max Lab. What's up, Max Lab? By the way, again, I want to mention this all the time because Max Lab gets so much hate for pulling up documents that I just like giving Max Lab props. It's so nuts that the ecosystem has targeted the man that I'm like, yeah, Max Lab needs love. So give Max Lab some love there. Slug, thanks for the 2. Got to head out, check your DMs. Giggle Doug. I'll check it out in a minute. Thank you, bud. Liz, what's up, Liz? Thanks for 14 for Buck. She saw that too. Appreciate that. She liked that there. She loves yellow too. So she's like, ooh, you hear her talk about monies. She thinks of it as candy. Because I'll tell her, well, our shopping's done. She's like, I'm recouping. So it's funny. Snowy Hurricane, thanks for the 5 there. I did hit that one, by the way. Like I said, one of the things when I'm making fun of somebody, again, one of the terms that I do not use is short. That I will repeat it for when I'm saying that, but that is not a term I use for somebody. If other people use it, that's their business. But like I said, it's not a profanity thing. It's not creative to me enough. It's not funny. It's kind of lowbrow. And I don't know. I like more of a little bit more creative on something. But also, like I said, where I was raised, my mom hated stuff like that. And it is just ingrained in my brain. You don't, yeah. She hated, I'm telling you, in that house, one of the worst things you could say was fart. So that is not a word I typically use at all. My kids, it's a word like it is ingrained in me. So anything with that, nah, not really. But Sassy, thanks for the 5 there. Tug, the tornado didn't touch down in Putnam or White County. It ended up dissipating. I live in Jackson County, right next door. Thank God. Well, that's good, man. That's good. Because, I mean, it's been bad. I mean, the wind is bad out today, though. It sounds bad. So the storm itself is rough. Mistrust Loon, thanks for the 5. But the bugs, the candy mini grifter in charge. I know her. She's like, I'm going to get money. You have to, again, she's 5. So she's like, oh my gosh, it's candy. So again, when she pops up, she's always looking like, ooh, is there something for me? Like, oh no, you don't do it that way, but she doesn't understand. It's funny. It is really funny to see her. Misbehaving. Thank you for the gifted membership there. What's up, Misbehaving? It's good to see you, by the way. I appreciate you. Cindy, thanks for the fun. For Cadbury cream eggs, I got some of my granddaughter. I found them. She's 3.5. I didn't get to eat any. Nope. She ate all 5. Well, I know. Those things are expensive now, too. I found one the other day when I took her to Murfreesboro. You know, Murfreesboro, it's a trip. It is definitely a long ways to go. So here, none of the places have them. And I was kind of surprised. My daughter told me she'd never tried one. And I was like, really? I didn't realize that. Got her one. And of course, Cadbury cream eggs are delicious. There's a lot of sugar to them, but they are delicious. You're like, yeah. And when we went looking for some more, there's none around here. It's wild. You'd think you'd have more out right now, but no. Now, Iowa Gal dropped 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you, Iowa Gal. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Love it. Debbie, thanks for the 10 there, Tom. You have such a beautiful, kind, loving soul. I appreciate that. You know, I try. I'm a human, you know, so I have my human qualities. I have my flaws sometimes, but I try to be a decent person. I try. You know, sometimes again, we are all human. We are all flawed, but at the same time, I try. Thank you. Mama Lori, thanks for the 10 there. I don't have a platform, but I do have a bank account. I'm definitely down to help Shar out. Indeed. Love her song on the video. Yes, I liked it too. People should check that out. I'm glad you mentioned that. She has a song on there that's pretty fun, so you should check it out too. These types of folks aren't used to having anyone stand their ground. I know, indeed. They love to just bark threats, and they're used to people backing down. And when people stand their ground, like you said, Shara's gotten a lot of hate and nastiness thrown her way too. And like I said, 100%, I mean it. These people try to shut her down, and she decides to go to war with them and sue them for it. I will definitely make sure that I help put money in that coffer, because it will be wrong. You know, like again, you know, the other person mentioned people not liking her. Okay. Well, you know, one thing I didn't do before, I never tried to shut her down. Even when I disagreed with her, I did not try to shut her down. I let her, I laughed at some of the things she posted, you know, but I never tried to shut her down. You are allowed to have negative opinions. You're allowed to be misinformed. In my, you know, if I think you're wrong on something. Nowadays, I love her video format, because what she does is she's presenting you in that video. For example, she presents you a police report. She gives you police footage, and she gives you a conversations with BBB right there. So you have your own ability to go in and to figure out what that means. Like you yourself, you have all the ability to do it. Elephant, thanks for the 10 there. The memorial makes no sense except to harass the Hales. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Dude didn't die there or live there. They should put it at City Hall. Be better people. Psychos. Well, it has nothing to do with that person. It's just a weapon at this stage. And that is insane to me. It's disappointing. But humans consistently disappoint if you pay attention to that kind of behavior. Dan, thanks for the tip. The wooden post is gold-plated. It's $4,000. They might as well have said that. The police believed everything else. You know? Yes, it was made of solid gold, actually. And it was 27 feet high. And it had a bat signal and Batman would actually come from Gotham. Like, what? James thinks of the 5. Wouldn't business insurance require a quote-unquote up-to-date survey of the property to add to his coverage, or the bank for the loan to buy it? Yeah, Jeremy said he had had a survey. So just noting, Jeremy said that he had one. Now, we'll see what happens. But yeah, you would think when you're selling property off, you would think that they would have had some type of survey attached to it that, you know, it clearly indicated property lines and more. You would think. Jolene, thanks for the 2. Wish your proper memorial could be in place for family. You know, that's the thing. Like, if there's going to be this whole thing, what needs to happen for real, it's like what was noted before with Ellie Font. She said that you need to take it, put it around City Hall or something. Put a bench or something there, a reflective area. They made enough money, honestly, you could make an entire reflection area. you know, or you could go somewhere and create a reflectable, but don't use it for drama. Don't put it on the side of the fucking road. Put it off of the highway, put it in a location. I mean, you put it on your property, whatever. It shouldn't be drama fodder. It should be something that, again, it commemorates somebody that you lost. Because we all, see, that's what grosses me. I've lost people. I watched people in my life die horribly, I guess is the most honest way of putting it, you know? And I would love in some ways to be able to sit down somewhere and remember the positives about them and not remember those last images, you know, those things you don't shake. I would love to have like a reflecting area or something. And, you know, you do find that in life. You find pictures and other things. But I mean, I'd love to build something to remember the people I've lost. And folks gave them money to do that. And they could turn that into a positive. They could build up the memory of somebody that had been snatched away from a family. But no, it's remembered now that that image instead is just part of this bullshit. That's what it's become. It's sad. I think so. But yeah, I mean, you're right there. Jessica, thanks for the 5 there. My mom always said, choose your battles wisely. Yes, because go to war, you must win. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And you always, you know, here's another thing too. Like when I cover stuff, one of the things I always look at cases and stuff because I'll tell people this with YouTube. I guess the best way to say it. You choose your battles carefully too, because you inherit the detractors. Some detractors are just normal people. They may not dislike you forever, though. They'll probably dislike you forever, right? Some people, though, you're going to inherit psychos, absolute fucking psychos. So you make sure every battle like that is a battle that you think is important. So that's the way I look at this Hale situation. I look at it as I inherit these detractors, these crazy fucking people. They don't just hate Jeremy Hales. You see what they do to anybody else. So yeah, you pick your battles wisely, you know. And they should be picking their battles wisely too. And is this really one that is worth finding? I'd say no. Puzzle. Thanks for the 10 there. New survey tech uses super accurate GPS that is not available to the public. My survey guy said that the resolution for the app is plus or minus. Wow, a 1/4 inch. That's wild. Actually, I didn't realize it was down to that. Any new survey say the same thing now as Jeremy Hale's recent one. Wow, that is something. Like I said, if Jeremy Hale's is correct and where a survey would place his land and it eats up part of their home or something, again, they may picked a battle that they lose big time in. It had no upside. And for what? For what? Jolene, thank you for the membership as well. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tug's Thugs. That's appreciated. Thank you. Puzzler, thanks for the 2. BBB equals Crapton. Crapton. Polyby Mob. Polyby Mob. It sounds almost like pull up your mob. It's funny. Rewrite, thanks for the 2. He is Dougie. I know, man. I bust open a door with it. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That would be funny. Actually, that would make a really funny image like Dead Punk could make, you know. You could turn this Shining into a really fun image with these people. Hippie Witch, thanks for the 5 there for logging bug. Thank you, Hippie Witch. I appreciate that. It's good to see you too. Thank you. Pumpkin Farm, thanks for the 5. Tina sold the property to Jeremy Hale with encroachment. So that's what Jeremy Hale will sue for. Indeed. He can sue for, there's a lot of stuff he could sue for, you know, on that. Yeah. Also, hey, what's up, Retired Guard? Appreciate you, by the way. It's good to see you. Thanks for the 2 there. Judge Maleko is on both federal. Yeah, he's been assigned to both. And we'll see what happens. You know, if there's a move to combine cases, what will happen with that? Again, I'm not sure where that will go, but we will see. We will see. And that'll be interesting. And especially, man, if Bruce gets hit, woo, man. I mean, you've got that hearing, and I don't know where that's going to turn out to, but that may get real fascinating. Rebel, thank you for the $5 super sticker. What's up, Rebel again? Love to the mods. Love to you too, Rebel, though. Love to Rebel specifically, but love to all you mods. Appreciate y'all. He's a Wheels. Thanks for the 10 there. Toward the Tucklet Treat Fund. Thank you for that. She'll appreciate it for sure. And we got Easter coming up. She'll definitely appreciate. Oh man, holidays. She's getting to the age where she understands like holidays, or she can have fun with them, and they can have a meaning or a message to her. But also, there's you remember being a little kid. I love watching little kids with holidays. Like that's what really the holidays. Again, there's a meaning behind holidays. I don't mean to move that away from it. Again, there's the thing you're celebrating, but watching kids, man, like Christmas time is so good to watch kids enjoy it. As an adult, you lose that. You may remember why the holiday's there, the religious implication, or what's being celebrated, but you lose that magic of just community and giving and receiving stuff. And it's beautiful to watch kids with that. Laura, thanks for the 10 candy money for those special young ladies. LOL. Love to hear them come in with important questions. Indeed. Indeed. They're funny. They are. I love it. And thank you, Laura. They are so funny. They're there. I never know when they're going to pop in or what they're going to do either. Misbehaving. Thanks for the 2 source. Trust me, bro. Yeah, indeed. That that's the thing. I hope I got that across. Like I said, I'm not saying that there weren't signs and they weren't removed. I'm saying that a police officer drives up and says, this happened. These people did it. Yes, they were here. They weren't in Ohio. What proof did they offer? Nothing. Nothing. They offered nothing whatsoever. They pointed at some holes in the ground, and that was it. And the police officer not only was okay with that, but the officer chit-chatted with them and was like, wait till you see what we do next. Oh, we'll get that, Mr. Hales. Puzzle. Thanks for the 2. My survey costs $300, and that's including digging. $300 there. I've never tried to price out a survey. I did find it, like I said, I found it fascinating that when they were discussing picking up money, they did not throw out the number 567 that I've seen. I haven't seen it anyway. They could set that straight and prove it. But that chap, well, they were rolling under the assumption that this thing cost thousands of dollars. And again, I showed screenshots with that when I was talking about the newest grift from the ecosystem, because it's mind blowing when you see this happen repeatedly. When they go back again, funding channels is one thing. Again, people donate to my channel. That's fine. I'm not telling you that I'm using it for, here, let me show you this. Okay. This is actually that. So at first, LMNOP is like, hey, it's going to cost $500, right? Okay. So that was what we thought would be a beginning, right? But as you go forward with this, you have another person and people start going with this that, well, I asked Alexa, and Alexa actually said the average cost is about $2,300. And this is what chat starts to roll with. And they give a bunch of money, but there's no set term. Like there's no set condition saying how much this is. It's just idiots keep giving money without any set parameters. And that, again, is the definition of a scam. That's just the wildest thing to me. But thank you, Puzzler, for noting the number there. I think they communicated. Again, it's interesting that LMNOP is like not just mentioning 500, but you notice when LMNOP says it too, she says, quote, she told me 500. So they had definitely communicated about weaponizing this thing. Again, You notice her wording there. She told me. So, yeah, I mean, it's so clear. Chance, thanks for the 5. If they didn't video the harassers, it didn't happen. That's indeed correct, because everything else, they're videoing everything else they tell you, right? So, yeah. John, thanks for the 5. Jeremy Hales was going to leave the property issue, babe, but they had to F around and find out. Indeed. Indeed. That's the thing. That's what happens. That's what happened. People want to mess around, and they end up gambling. It's like gambling with your life. She said, I just want to retire and do this or that. Okay, well, how does this help that? How does it? If I had a neighbor that I didn't want to deal with, I would just avoid them. You know, I don't have to mess with them. I just do my own thing. If they're out, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? And, you know, again, you give a modicum of decency and respect, and that's it. You just move on with your life, you know? That's all those people, you don't have to like your neighbor either, but they are your neighbor and they do own the land. So, Dan, thanks for the 5. Tug, the post costs $50. I like this by the way, and it costs $3,950. The hole to be dug. Indeed. That and the gold plating, woo, man. Indeed. Susan, thanks for the 5. I think the hole they're digging will display will be the most expensive one. Yeah, it's going to be pretty expensive, don't you think? OB711, thanks for the 2. What's the memorial for? The lost turtle? Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, it's for a person. It's for somebody that tragically lost their life. But is it really a memorial? Is that really what we're doing here? If you listen to that, did it sound like you were talking about a memorial? Because it was like, oh, if I move these things over just a little bit and I make it cost more, can I ruin this guy and put him in jail? Huh. Chance, thanks for the 10 there, too. When he bought the church plot, there was a discrepancy between the survey and the written description of the property. So there's extensive research into the actual lines by Jeremy Hale. Yeah. And if he can take that and put it into court, like I said, if they're home or whatever, he will own it. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter if he's been sold something that a home or something sits on, and they're screwed with this. That's what I mean. Why would you do this? If there's fences and other stuff that fall on his property, rip it out. Why we do it? Jessica, thanks for the 2. Travis' daughter is married to Brian, Tina's son. Yeah, poor Travis, man. And you know, they're throwing Travis into this fray to attack him too. It's nuts. Like, you know, Travis didn't want anything to do with any of this drama. He's made it clear. He's like, leave me alone with these people, please. And they still go after him all the time. Mama, thanks for the 5. Tuck, did you watch Jeremy's video? He sold me property. It's not legally owned. Jeremy talks. A title company finds out info 2 years ago. I may have. I'll go back and watch that. Let me mark this and make sure I did. There's so many videos. I watched quite a bit, but a lot of it I was trying to, you know, when I went back, I was trying to catch up everything for cases, you know, the elemental P stuff, what had gone on there, some of the stuff that happened with the town. But this is another piece of crazy. Then I'm like, wow, that's weird. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. It's proven Jeremy owns a property. Doesn't it mean the charges they want to bring on Jeremy should be put on them? Yeah, well, especially they would be guilty of harassment for sure, because they kept trying to bait. And I mean, this is harassment anyway. And the police, to be honest, the way the police address that, I feel like they're part of it. You know, again, when they're like, oh, yeah, contact us about every little thing. That's great. Yeah, man, if we can come up with something. Again, I would file a complaint, especially after that officer said he's not going to like the report and what I said in it. And then he's talking about his connections. Man, fuck that dude. Yeah, I would make a complaint. I very much would. Like Robin, thanks for the 8 there. Appreciate that. Candy money for Bug and Lug, as long as the person says indeed. Yes, indeed. That is for sure. Thank you too. Thank you. Like I said, that's awesome of you. But yes, Therese, thanks for the 5 there. If this land is right away or easement, there are usually rules about building permanent structures, including memorials. Yes, there are. Concreting something in that's usually a big no-no, you know. So, I need to look up again, Florida rules, because everybody, you know, every place has different rules or regulations on something. I need to look at Florida statutes. I'd like to know. I mean, this cop seemed very, it amazes me sometimes. Like, they remind me of people like the grudge judge. They don't need to be doing X, Y, or Z, as in, here's what you need to do. This is what you need to do. I mean, there could be good information like move it over on your property, enjoy it, you know, remember your loved one. That's good. But this other shit where you're trying to, where you're instigating drama, that's not their purpose. Shouldn't be. Yeety, what's up, Yeety? Thanks for the 3 for Bugs Sour Patch Gummy Funds. Yeet. Thank you for that. Yes, she bought her some Sour Patch Kids the other day. By the way, she loved them. She they had this big machine too. It reminds me of a big pixie stick machine. You know, it's got like sugar flavored candy. It's this big round thing, and they come with little tubes. You fill up the tube, and some of those were really sour, she said. But that was I'd never seen one of those before. Green Veg Beast, thanks for the 5. Someone needs to find a family involved with roadside memorial, then offer to make a more permanent memorial with Jeremy's name on it. Yeah, actually, you know, what needs to happen, they need to take the 4K that was picked up, and they need to actually utilize that for the intended stated goal. They need to make a memorial. They don't need to have drama on it. They need to put it somewhere where the family can enjoy it, not on the side of the road, not causing bullshit. But with that much money, they could have somewhere to sit and reflect and it not be part of attacking some. DTG, thanks for the 4 months. I have a feeling that something would happen if someone else put a no trespassing sign on my property too. Yes, indeed. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling something would happen when I started causing drama. Yes, indeed. Shelly, thanks for the 2. At the end of the video, is that a ETH bomb? At the end of the video, let's see. I will have to look. I've got to look at that again. I'll check it out. That may be a weed pipe, like paraphernalia. Let me look. It's wooden, so it's not. There, this is what you're talking about, by the way. You're asking like, what is this thing right here? And it does. At first glance, it does kind of look like paraphernalia, but I don't believe so because it looks like it's made out of wood. You know, if you look at the grain, that looks more like some kind of a toy or something like that. You know, it has the right design, but it's cut off. And again, with being wood, I'm not saying you couldn't use wood for something, but that doesn't have like any kind of cuts or anything on it. And it doesn't look like there's any burn marks attached to it. It would be jacked up if it were wood. I mean, there are people that do some crazy stuff, but I don't think that's what that is. I think it's also pointing out the ammunition at the top. Jacqueline, thanks for the 14 months. Best chat YouTube ever. Tug, always very interesting. Thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you for that. Hey, what's up, Jay? Jay had a thing going on too. I wanted to attend that. Man, like I said, I didn't think we were going to have a break from this mess. I actually would like to be able to live stream a little bit with Jay and goof off for a hot minute. I think it'd be fun on their channel. So one day I want to do that. One day when it doesn't sound like we're in a wind tunnel. Thank you, though. Let me see what your note in there for the memorial thing. I think that would be fun, though. 1 second here. Gross. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a mess. Yeah, we have trees that tower above our home, by the way. They're beautiful. Like they're much taller than my home, but they're creepy. I had to have them cut back, all of them, and it is insane what that stuff cost. Like homeowners insurance and cover, and it costs something like $6,000 to get rid of 2 big trees that had rotted out over time, and then have everything come out. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain. I was like, no, so terrible. So I feel you. I feel you there for sure. Ian, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you for that, Ian. That is awesome. Appreciate that. Whoever it dropped on there too, they appreciate it as well. And Sandy, what's up, Sandy? Sandy, what's up? Appreciate you. Thanks for the gifted membership. John, thanks for the 2 statements. Speaks miles about corruption. Yes, indeed. The statements that were there, I find them very troubling that the police stated that. Yes, Angel, what's up? You liking that wrench, by the way? I'll be swung it a few times. I'm just kidding. Thanks for the 5 there. So living in a country, and we wave at every car or a person who drives by. Okay, so y'all do that as well. That's hugs and loves to everybody. Well, see, that's awesome. Like, I love that. I like the communal feel. I also, there's another thing, and again, I don't know if people do that everywhere they do this, but like in the South, there's this thing about pulling over for funeral processions. You don't just give them the right of way. Like if they're on the interstate or something, you move out of the way, let them go by or whatever, or on the highway. But also, if you meet them on the roadway, you pull over and you let them go by. Just like an emergency vehicle, you do the same thing for funeral processions. I don't know if that's that way everywhere, but I grew up with that too. See a funeral procession, pull the fuck over. If you run up on it on a highway or something, or on the interstate, and you don't pass them, which can be a frustrating thing too. Like if you run up on a funeral procession on the interstate, they don't move too fast, but you're not supposed to pass them as well. Sometimes you don't figure that out until you get up near the lead vehicle and you're like, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't realize that. You gotta back off. I've done that before. Look, oh no. Oh, fun. Thanks for the 2. Doge. I have more taxpayer money. Indeed. Oh, man. Mama Lord, thanks for the 4 months there. Where's the footage of the hordes of Rabbit Hills fans driving around stirring up shit? Indeed. They would have that everywhere if that were true. That's what I'm saying. They would have pictures and everything else. Chris, thanks for the 10. Breadstick money or start a fundraiser for a too narrow privacy fence. Right, for real. Should you need one? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'll have to attach some Mad Max / redneck freaking metal to the top. Oh, I swear. Pickle Tink, thanks for the 5. Jeremy already sued the city of Otter Creek with all of this. Why would he sue the county? Leaving, including sheriff's office. Indeed, I would definitely make a complaint with what they're saying. Again, there is no reason they should be bringing up other police complaints and saying, oh, he's not going to like what I do. That looks like bias and bullshit. And 100% should not be happening. They had nothing to do with it. They should not have made statements like that. Shouldn't have made these other statements. It tells you if they're comfortable making those statements too. Here's the thing. I guess this is the way I look at stuff. Okay, I want to word this right. If you're willing to say something openly, what aren't they willing to admit to? Because they're absolutely willing to say those things out loud. They're comfortable saying them. That's how far they'll take it publicly. What are they saying privately? Or they keep, internally? Because they're not ashamed to say that. That's the scary part. That's how far they're willing to go publicly. And these are people with guns and badges. They have the weight of the state behind them. That's frightening. Rebel, thanks for the 2 there. Yeah, that's where I lost my, that's where I lost that, by the way. Thank you. Elsa, thanks for the 2. Electric bill fund. That's really funny. I love that. Thank you. Falling here. I have to say, too, we lost about 800 people while that happened. That's really good. A lot of you stuck around. I did tell you that we might cut out, but I'm glad I got it back up. It did take a few minutes, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah. I thought we were down for the count. Fallen Hero, thanks for the gifted membership. Thank you, Fallen Hero. It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Dan, where's Megan the Stream Killer? Indeed. She's been traveling, by the way. So, Shooting Star, thanks for the 15. We had a friend pass away 3 days ago. The memorial was today. Why did the great ones always leave us soon? Stay safe, Tuts. We love you. I appreciate you too. Yes. It feels like that, doesn't it? It feels like terrible people last forever. And the ones that burn brilliantly, they burn out way too soon. But love to you in this time, stuff like that hurts. Just remember when, you're talking about the memorial, and it's hard to do right at the beginning, but remember why you love them. Like you said, the good ones, remember that. You don't embrace the end, you embrace the times we're there. And it takes a minute to get there. It does. It's okay to grieve too. But love to you. Appreciate you. Pickle T, thanks for the 5. New tornado warnings for northern imbalance, southern Tennessee. Indeed, I hear all the crazy. We don't have a specific, like, if we get a tornado warning right here, you'll hear my phone go insane. Debbie Baker, thanks for the 10. But yes, it's nasty out. It is very bad. I'm surprised we still have power. I'm waiting to lose it. Debbie Baker, thanks for the 10. Starting a dental fund for the girls. They love that candy. Indeed. They do, indeed. That's because they don't get it all the time. That's why they're like, oh, I want candy, The little one just dreams about candy. She's like, oh my God, I love it. But thank you for that too. But yeah, it shows you she doesn't get it all the time because it's like, candy. RB, what's up? Thanks for the 2 there. Candy fun. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Candy fun indeed. Amanda, thanks for the 20. Tug book fun. Thank you for that. Actually, I bought a lot of books. So buy a lot of books for the kids. I go through, but I love audio books. I go through a lot of books on Audible. Good Lord, a bunch. Man, that storm's bad right now. Hippie Witch, thanks for the 2 months. Tug, sending healing vibrations. Love you. Love you, kids. And thank you for that. Yes, prayers, support, everything. I will take it. And thank you. I appreciate all of you. Miss Bahan, thanks for the Tug. You're flossing. Indeed. Flaws make us awesome. That's true. That is actually true. I like that. Flossing. I love that. I love that. That's a great way to put it. Puzzle Puzzler, thanks for the 2. Aspiring to be flawless is the worst flaw. Indeed. Indeed. I'd like to be a better person with everything, but you acknowledge, you just acknowledge some of your flaws. If you can do that, you're probably doing better than most people. If you can see where you should improve as a person. And yeah, I think that's great. Like those 2 statements are great there. Okay, Bio Queen, thanks for the 2 there. It says he is going to be there in court. It's going to be interesting to see what is that Jeremy Hales? Is that a JH? Is that what that is? It's just lowercase. Yeah, I'm going to be there in court. Bro, like I said, I would go, but I don't know about this health mess. I'm like, I don't know about travel, but I would love to myself. Gerald, thanks for the 5 there. They did mention in the clip that they weren't worried about the cost. If they're not worried, then why keep asking for money? That's true too. That is actually very true. If people are not worried about costs, why do you keep asking for money? That's very true. That's a good one there. Emma, thanks for 5. Here's some money towards a new trampoline, lollies, lost books, whatever. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. New trampoline fun. I love it. Thank you. Puzzle Buster, thanks for the 2. Your ankle started swelling. Is it tug bloat? Yeah, it's a tug bloat. Tug bloat. That's funny. Candace, thanks for the 5 there. Brian and Tina are Travis. This is daughters-in-law. What a mess. It's such a mess. Like I said, why bring Travis into all the mess there too? Green Veggie Bees. What's my email? It is 2 words. Easy to remember here. I will type it too. It's the word granular, as in a grain of sand. Granular. The word heaven is in a place, heaven at gmail.com. Why that? I don't remember. It's an old email address. Just, that one. Also, if you're ever wondering, you can't remember it, what you do is you go to the front of anyone's YouTube You go to the About tab, and it'll have a little section. It'll either show right there, or it'll say for media inquiries, and then show it. All right, so we are at the end of that. Give me 1 second. I do want to redirect you. It is Saturday. As I said, every time I redirect to Flashcast. Now, I always do that with a stipulation. If you offend, don't go there. But if you want to have fun and laugh at a lot of stupid and crazy, that's always fun. Give me a second here. I'm setting up the redirect. I like a Yellow Flash is probably the person I've known longest on YouTube out of anybody I've met in real life and everything else. Good people, as always, just a good person, like I said, and again, they love to make fun of things. I love Flashcast. I just haven't been staying up that late with all the health stuff, but I hope to get back to all of that. But I like to redirect there again, so you can go over there, raid, have fun, but do not go over there if you offend. They have a big, long beginning too, almost 15 minutes of intro. So I think the intro is still going right now. But anyway, I'm going to end here. I appreciate you all. Y'all, again, if you want to go raid, have fun. Do not get offended by anything there. Offense, it is not given, it is taken. Do not take offense to anything, especially don't get offended on other people's behalf, But have fun, laugh at stupid. And let me make sure I didn't miss anything else, and then I'll let you go. All right, we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow will be early, by the way. Remember that tomorrow we have earlier live stream. I'm planning to have one. Hale starts at 7. That's normally my time. So I start about 3 hours earlier. All right. So anyway, I'll see you there unless something comes up. Appreciate you.